There's so many things I have to thank you for.
Yeah, you know.
We're going to think that this is
love
your
it.
first time on this podcast, but let's start with this.
Okay.
This is actually your second time on the podcast.
It is.
So for those that don't know, he was within our first 5 episodes. By the way, this is Wayne Cretter. He is an entrepreneur, a soon-to-be professional athlete. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
You're never going to go pro. We're gonna negotiate that in real time. We're gonna negotiate that in real time. Soon to be professional athlete, entrepreneur, and also dear friend of mine.
Yes,
Wayne,
sir.
You're a fucking real one.
I appreciate you, brother. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
forgive me. My producer's father was in, and we were literally discussing education for the last.
That's a conversation, might I add.
Yeah. One day.
Right.
Let me start with this: the actual formal apology. So Wayne was on for the first 5 episodes. We had a great conversation about race, especially during that time. It was like post George Floyd.
Yeah.
It was during COVID because this was like go now. You know what I mean?
it was right before my last fight, pretty much. So
Yes.
2024.
Yeah.
Probably like April.
Yeah.
Probably like April or so.
Yeah, we're eclipsing 2 years.
Yeah.
It was the culmination of all the race relations and everything. And we had a great 2.5 hour conversation that we literally could not post $30 HDMI cable that was constantly cutting you in and out.
Okay.
We had conversations about should we air the episode, but with audio only. And you have to understand from my perspective, we had a conversation that was heavily focused on race, and the black guest, his camera was going in and out. Right to me.
I understand. Sounds very American.
I
say so myself, but story for another day, I think. I don't know.
It's something that I've because there's things you have in your control and there's things that you haven't. And one of the mistakes I made was getting you on so soon that I didn't know a lot of this.
But to be fair, it was an honor to come on so soon, though, right?
Fair.
For you to even be like, oh, you know what, Wayne, would you like to come on my podcast and we sit down and we have an easy talk? You know what I'm saying? Ooh. So, and it was a very easy conversation. You
think so?
I don't mind having difficult conversations, even if it's varying opinions, right? Like if we were all the same, what would the world be, right? It'd be so much different, right? So you have to have varying opinions so you can get to a real collective, right? A real nice spot. And I think we miss a lot of those things in this world.
I disagree. I think the beauty of humanity is conflict, but respectful conflict.
Yeah, so
that's what we've lost.
I think we should be able to disagree.
Yes.
I think it makes so
we should.
Your brain doesn't work like my brain. My brain doesn't work like the producer's brain, right? But when you bring these, you can formulate something that benefits the masses because everybody's not going to be like you. Everybody's not going to be like me. So I like having conversation. And I don't take offense to most things.
No.
There's so much crap to be worried about in the world to take offense. I don't like giving power to words.
Let me give some context because this is technically Wayne's first appearance, but Wayne is a longtime friend, training partner, all these things. And I will say that what we had at Finney's was not special.
It very much was.
In the sense that we brought a lot of minds together that were all towards the same goal, and that was martial arts prowess. And it was the perfect symbiosis of ego enough to be competitive, but not so much that we couldn't learn from one another. There were train with Wayne, and Wayne would tell me things, and I would learn from Wayne, and Wayne would learn from me, and Wayne would learn from Nico and Chris, and we would learn from Nico and Chris. It was a weird 2-year span where we were just this soup of collective knowledge where we were so competitive that we wanted to males in the room, but we were also so cognizant that we would allow for someone to exceed their expectations and to give value when it was present. Do you think I'm incorrect in that assessment?
I do not think you're incorrect. For me, I was thinking about this, one of the compliments I got came from you, right? Because for me, like when I first started, like I like striking pretty. You know that about me. I like my striking to look clean.
By the way, it is.
I appreciate
It
that.
is clean.
But you came, you were like, will you train with me? Right? Will you be a guy who I can work with during this camp? Similar size, similar stature, think you'd be perfect. I actually took that as an honor, right? Because I I knew I was okay, right? But we all knew how good you actually are, right? So for you to come and be like, I would like to use you, it was a confidence booster, right? It's like the guy that everybody comes to the gym and they're like, this is the guy, is asking me to train with him, which made me believe, all right, I'm starting to get there, right? Don't get me, took a lot of lumps during that process, but
I think you overvalue me, and I think you humble yourself.
you tell me that every time, right? You tell me that every time. But I don't agree with that necessarily. Like I've I've had rounds with other guys, right? And with you it's just not the same cuz we'd be in middle of rounds. You're like, "Bro, why aren't you being as aggressive as you normally are? Why are you being more hesitant?" It's like because somebody's not going to hit me every other time I throw a punch the way you are, right? So it's like I have to be more defensively sound because your timing, range, we're talking about your fighting skills and abilities, but like all that to say that, like, bro, like it was it was nice to go with somebody who forced me to get better, right? So I think it's a thing of like you can't be the hammer, you can't be the hammer. Like you have to be the nail to even be able to approach being able to be the hammer, right? So like I said, like I took my lumps. I
Yeah, but Wayne,
learned,
you
and
want
once
to know?
I got to a point,
I'm going to interrupt you because you are overlooking a variable that I don't think you and Chris and everybody else in that gym. You guys were all older than me, more established, and honestly, for the most purposes, like even more like you had put more time in the game than me. Oh my
hadn't
God,
though.
I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. You guys allowed for a younger guy to come in, and you and Chris and other people in the gym allowed for a younger man to come in. All I did was talk. You guys chose to listen,
Yeah,
and you'll never understand what that meant for me, because like you have to understand, I don't know what I'm doing, but it felt right.
yeah,
I knew that I might not be the best at this, but I knew that what I was saying was correct. Does that make sense?
it does.
Like it came from a good place,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew what I was seeing. I don't know if I'm the best at seeing this, but I know that what I'm seeing is accurate. Say things, and you and Chris and other people like Eric and you guys would listen, and like this is why I'm trying to like what I'm trying to say is I've trained 12 years in mixed martial arts. I never had a gym like Finney's in a lot of ways, but I never had a group of people that were into learning, that they would escape their ego for even the briefest of moments to take considerations from a younger guy who didn't know as much. You and Chris went to the same high school.
Yeah.
You guys wrestled around this. You guys were around the same time. And in come this guy that's like, 10 years you're younger, input, and you guys are taking it into consideration. What do you think that means for me?
Yeah,
Do you understand the
Yeah.
respect that you gave to me?
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like it goes both ways. You say so highly of me. Why do you think I say so highly of you and Chris? Because you guys had to do something I don't know if I'm capable of. If me in like 7 years, I'm like, just sit the fuck down. I don't have the hubris you guys have.
Yeah,
Little Eric.
right.
I say that with full sincerity, love, and appreciation, because there were also times where you guys talked to me,
Yeah.
and I gave that same respect back.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean you were.
That's why we had the perfect gym for like 2 fucking years.
I agree.
By the way,
I agree.
this is biased because I'm no longer there. I'm
I
sure you
agree.
guys still have the perfect gym. But for those 2.5 years, I felt like we all got really fucking good.
What I will say is, I think we're starting to get there, right? I don't think it's not the same, you know, but I think we're getting there. There are a lot more
Younger.
young men and women who come in, and for me, it's about, are you willing to do what's necessary versus anything else, right? You can teach technique. You know, you can't teach heart. You can't teach wanting to put the work in or being willing to put the work
Discipline and
in.
responsibility.
You can't teach those things.
That's a prerequisite.
You have to come with that, right? So, like, oddly enough, like, so there's a few people who are going to be having fights, and actually changed like my requirements for me to corner you, right? Because
What were they?
I
Forgive me for
I
comparison.
didn't really have any before.
Okay.
Like, if you ask me to do it, you show up to train, yeah, let's do it, whatever. Like, I love doing this.
It's an act of respect. If someone asks you, "Hey, Wayne, will you corner me?"
Yeah.
That's like an acknowledgement of your skill set.
It is, and I appreciate it happening, but for lack of a better way of putting it, I'm not trying to look like a dumbass because you didn't want to train. Right? So like to go along with that, like, so like now it's like I tell all the guys, I'm like, you want me to corner you? I need to know that you train 5 days a week, whether it's at the gym or outside of the gym. And if it's outside of you better take a video, you better have somebody taking pictures, you're gonna have to send me something. Because like it's a requirement. Because like I said, like people can lose, everyone loses, everyone wins. But
I would make the argument, Wayne, that you don't need receipts.
I want the receipts.
On Wednesday, you'll know.
Hey, that is true.
That is Wednesday,
true. You can find that on
sparring around with you guys. I don't need to ask you a goddamn question.
Yeah.
I'll know in the first minute how much work you're putting in, what your diet looks like, how much you're taking this camp seriously. I'll know within the first fucking minute.
For sure.
I don't need to text you a goddamn thing.
But I think I want them to have a level of accountability. So I want them to, even though it's forced accountability, right? I'm forcing them to be accountable for something that they want, which is also the thing for me. I didn't tell you to fight. I didn't tell you like to put in 2 months worth of hard training, sacrifice, discipline, everything it takes to really feel like you're. We can all get in there and things happen. It's a fight. You never know what's going to happen, right?
It's never guaranteed.
But you can control what you can control, right? And that's one of the reasons I haven't fought in so long, right? Because I didn't know if I had the time to be able to do what I deem is required to do it, right? So like I know that I'm in good enough shape where like I can just hop in there and have a fight and not feel too bad. But for me, it's if I lose, right? If I lose, can I live with everything I did to get to, right? If I can't feel like I did everything that I needed to do to ensure that I won, then I don't need to do it, right? Because then I'm what if? I should have did this. I should have done that. I could have done this, right? I don't like to have those thoughts in my head. I want my results of my actions, right? So yeah, man, I need some of these boys to get to it, man, and just like really realize that if it's something you want to do, even if it's one time, right? It's far more difficult than I think most people think it.
It's far more.
I think it's far more difficult. It's one of those things where like if it was easy, everybody would do it because you get to look like the cool kid. But you get to look like the cool kid for a while. You go places, people talk to you, they know who you are. So like it builds your ego. You feel better about yourself. Your confidence goes up. But if you don't do the work, you don't really understand. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling a little bit.
No.
But
everything you said to me resonates. I agree 100% with the threshold for like it is that will become the precursor to whether or not you'll corner someone. I'm gonna tackle this in stages because you said a lot. So let me start with that.
Sure.
My one precursor or my one rebuttal to that is you don't get to choose who admires you.
You don't. No,
and you don't admires you what their work ethic looks like before that. I've cornered guys that I knew I was going out there for slaughter. Like they were going out there to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
But the difference was they chose to put their solace and their respect in me.
Yeah.
I cannot say no. However, that was always a precursor to then the conversation of what do you want from fighting.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of guys at Finney's that like saw me training and they're like, I want that guy to corner me.
Yeah.
But I never trained with them.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what their fucking names were. But if they asked me, I always said yes.
Yeah.
Because I said to myself, win, lose, or draw, you're giving me this respect. The least is honor that,
Yeah.
right? Then after the fight, however it landed, then the building blocks of the conversation of martial arts would happen. But that was irrespective of what input they had in it. However, I don't knock you for having, because I think I was wrong in that.
Okay.
I'll say that openly. Like,
Okay.
I don't think that I should have cornered everybody just on the precursor if they asked me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was coming up, because I was flipping through gyms throughout the course of my career, whenever I asked someone, I always felt like from this like, hey, do you mind? I didn't realize that was a motherfucker coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when these guys were saying yes, I looked at it as like, oh, they gave me this kindness. I didn't realize that in reality what it was they kind of saw the potential in me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I'll ride on this.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying about anybody that cornered me. What I'm saying is everybody that has ever trained the people of merit and value and the people that are doing this as a transition. I was not a transition guy. So they put value into me. I extended a courtesy to everyone that was extended to me based on merit.
Yeah.
That was my flaw.
For sure.
However, I think that someone has to die on that stake.
Yeah.
I do think there needs to be someone who comes in and corners the guy that probably didn't train the hardest.
Yeah.
Probably didn't take this into consideration or that into consideration.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't dedicate the time that they should have. But they're going to learn a lesson, and they're going to need someone in that corner to learn it with them.
Yeah.
A tough thing to extend to someone. And I would even say that, like, for you and Chris, that's no longer the responsibility. You want to know whose responsibility that is?
Who?
Eric's.
Yeah. I can see that.
Eric's.
Yeah.
Eric, you're going to have to eat a lot of shit.
I love that kid though.
Yeah, he's a great
I
fucking
love
kid.
that kid, man. Like,
But
so
if he,
much.
But if he wants to
Yeah.
and you know, think about it. Like you're step one. You and Chris are step one. I'm step two. He's step three.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it this way, but he's at the bottom of the totem pole, and he's going to have to go through some of these cycles.
Yeah.
And by the way, it'll make him a better fighter.
I was gonna say that it makes you better though. That was one thing you told me when we were sitting there. You're like, you're gonna start coaching. I was like, they asked me to. Like, why not?
should.
And then you were like, you should. You were like, it's gonna make you such a better fighter.
Yes.
And I agree with that 1,000 times over. Because now you really see and understand everything. Like, so it's a different world.
No,
coaching.
tell
It's
me
a
about
different-
it.
it's a
Tell me
different world
about it.
Like,
I want to hear this. What was fighting like before you were coaching and after you were coaching?
So before coaching, I mean, again, like, I'm not trying to turn this into an Ariane love fest, but like something else you said to me, you used to always go, Wayne, you're an athlete who fights, right? After I started coaching, we came back, we did some rounds. Like one time you were like, now you're finally a fighter who happens to be an athletic guy, right? So
Yeah, I'm going to
To
fucking
be
start
able-
crying.
So to be able to like really see those things, like it's like I said, bro, like I've told you, I got so much appreciation for how much you helped me. Like I would never like it's one reason, like, bro, I would never I know coaches, some coaches who charge fighters to like help them, coach them, corner them. That's not something like so I just think about even as a little kid, little league baseball, little league football, you know, basketball, swimming, soccer, whatever it is that I was doing. Like, there were always men there giving me their time, and they weren't necessarily getting paid to do it, right? So, like, and I go to Finney's, and I start training Stephen Mann, all the help I could imagine.
Shout
Never
out
asked for
Stephen
anything.
Mann.
Never asked me for anything. Eric Steenberg taught me a ton. Never asked me for anything. Evan Elder taught me a ton. Never asked me for anything. Even though he was far younger than me. Like, and I'm not the guy who pretends that because I'm older, I automatically know more. It's like I'm coming into a new world. I'm here because I want to learn. I want to get better. That's who I am as a person. Like, I won't do something just to do it, so to speak.
But that is, you're very humble. to realize how much humility that takes.
Man, but it
It
doesn't.
might not take humility for you, but what I'm saying is for the general populace to come in to learn from youth the wisdom that they were eclipsed is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
It might be an easy pill for you. Mean you didn't swallow a pill, even if you were like unknowingly doing it.
Yeah.
That's why I have such reverence for you and Chris, because you guys have something that like I'm not sure if I have. Only time will tell. When I get to like 40 and like some 20-year-old starts telling me some shit, we'll see, and I'll call you guys. But like that's why I have such reverence for you. Fucking talk. When I spoke, you guys would sit there and listen,
Yeah.
and that meant a lot to me.
I mean, but like, it's
And by the
hard
way,
to.
also shout out Stephen Mann and Eric Steenberg
Yeah.
and Evan Elder
Oh, I mean-
and all the guys and rest in peace Richard Lovelace and there was a bunch in this time with us.
Yeah. Well, I just named those three guys and yourself included because you guys are the four guys that I think I learned the most from, right? That like shaped the way I thought about fighting. I mean, it got to a point like where like, I became my own person as a fighter, right? Like I was no longer taking bits and pieces from all of you, right? And then formulating who I wanted to be as a fighter, right? I mean, going into like watching fighting, right? Like people you admire that fight. It's like, all right, I like the way he does this. I like the way that he does this. All right, I'm the guy. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go try it, see how it works out. Like, and if it works in my repertoire now, but if it doesn't work out, then like I tried it out and moved to the next thing.
At least you know it exists.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, it's like I say, it's humbling to hear that like I'm being humble, right? Because
You are.
like in the sport that like requires so much ego, right? Like you can't fight and not have an ego. Good luck to you. Like it's not something that like you're not gonna succeed if you don't have an ego. If you don't think that like whoever the guy across from you, if you don't look at him absolutely destroy you right now, then like honestly, what are you doing this for?
You're not in the right sport.
What are you doing this for? Like, right? So like it's an opportunity to, lack of a better way to say it, show that I'm just a bigger, badder man than you. Yeah. Like, like it's not to say it feels good.
It does.
But it feels good.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Like it feels good.
No,
like it's like,
Wayne,
so
you
like
I promise you two things. One, be as transparent as you want.
Yeah.
And two, I will be the bigger douche.
Yeah.
Trust me. I think everything you said is very accurate. Well, I've trained at big gyms and I've trained at small gyms. Both have pros and cons. The one thing that we actually had, and I will give myself some credit on this one, the very few times that I will do this, there was an eclipse of no leadership where I put myself in that position. I like to think that when I did it, it was like the perspective of the things I wish I would have heard when I needed to hear it. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean,
that's what I was telling you guys, was like, I told you guys the shit that I saw and heard and felt in real time because told me those things or showed me those things, or we would not even necessarily at practice, but like we would go get dinner or something afterwards, and I'd be like, hey, for any of those that trained with us, you realize like we would go out for dinner, we would be a team, and like even when we would go outside of the gym, all the conversations were bullshit. Or, hey, Wayne, your jab on the first round was really strong because you were your cardio was up to base, and then I noticed that your jab would kind of weaken in the second round, and you would compensate with explosive backhands, but your two, it would open you up for counters. These were the kind of conversations we would fucking have. Like the science of fighting. And it wasn't like I was seeing it. No, I was in the rounds with you. I felt your jab in the first round. I felt your jab in the second round. I felt your jab in the third round. I'm not telling you because I saw it. I'm telling you because I felt it. And I think that had different weight. I think there's a direct correlation to your respect for me and my respect for you because we were in there together.
I would agree.
I was not your coach.
Yeah, I agree.
And you were not my coach. No. We were each other's sparring partners, but we had enough ego to want to be. but not enough ego to not get the other person better.
For sure. But
I think that's a sweet science, brother.
it is, but
I think that's rare.
You're also very, very funny though. Like, cause like you would say things like, all right, we're gonna spar today, but like I need like all you guys because I can't break my toys. You're like, I can't break my toys. Like, he's like, no. But like,
Did it get you better?
Yes.
but I would say now I understand it more though, right? Like,
What
because-
gets you more motivated than a strike to your ego?
I mean, and also like it forces you to get better. Like you're able to weed who this
Don't
is for
wanna
you.
fucking be there.
This is for you, but
Don't
this isn't
want to
for-
fucking be there.
yeah.
I don't want you if you don't
No.
want to fucking be
Yeah,
here.
you get
If
to
you
weed it
want to
out.
be here for an Instagram photo, get the fuck out.
Right.
Get the fuck out. No, we came here to
that's
fucking
fact.
work.
We came
How
here to
many
work,
times
bro.
would I come to you and say, hey, how many rounds we do? Can't.
Yeah, no,
How many times did we do rounds until we couldn't?
plenty of Saturdays.
You're like, how many rounds are we doing today? Nah, until one of us quits.
yeah, and I'm like,
And then and then I would
let's
do
do it
ego.
then. Fuck
And then-
it,
no,
bro.
but then I would do
Like,
ego.
yeah.
One of us has to quit.
yeah.
But one of us needs to know when to. That's the variable.
See,
That's
I will
the
give
variable.
you so much credit for that too. Like, so you could have used my name the other day, right? When you were like, a mutual friend of ours got flashed, got right back up. I'm like, you're done. It was in your eyes. As soon as I heard, I was like, oh, he's talking about me.
I'm sorry.
I was like, he's already been talking about me for like.
And Chris, and Eric,
and
and
just say-
Nico, and Jose.
No, it's everybody.
You
but
weren't,
it's
listen,
like-
brother, you weren't the only one.
Oh no, you talked about all the guys. I mean, but you had already had a whole conversation with Eric previously, and like I said, I can't say enough things about that guy. I actually miss Jose a lot.
I do too.
I miss Jose a lot.
One-
I
one-
think to train with me.
One of the great regrets that I have as a person is actually recommending other gyms, not knowing what you guys held.
Okay.
Had I would have known that you and Chris would have stayed there
Yeah,
and pushed what we did further,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told them to leave.
yeah,
But I did not think the gym was conducive to what their goals were.
Yeah.
So Dalton and Jose and other people came to me and I told them, I said, go here.
Eh.
But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If people come to me now, now that I know you and Chris and Joe are spearheading a lot of the next generation,
okay,
even though me and Jesse don't have a great relationship,
yeah,
it's irrespective.
Yeah.
Because Jesse doesn't coach there. He
Yeah.
doesn't get in the nitty gritty. You, Chris, Joe, you guys are the ones on the other side with the cage putting in the fucking work.
Yeah.
And now I tell them, yeah, go to Finney's. This is a good gym.
I just like I said, I love.
Big respect that I'm giving you guys.
I know.
Because I'm putting you on par
know.
with Eric. I'm putting you on par with Mike Rogers. I'm putting you on par with Mop.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on par with those guys.
like
I know what cloth your guys. Oh my God, this is gonna turn into a fucking circle jerk. The reason why I ended wasn't because I thought Finney's was like the best gym or whatever. The reason why I ended my career at Finney's is because I thought to myself, there's no circumstances that are gonna get better than this.
Yeah,
This is it.
yeah,
I didn't make it. Okay.
Yeah.
Lay the hat down, move on. But what we had
yeah,
for that 2.5 years, I trained for 12 years in total,
yeah,
and was the best.
yeah.
Was the best.
It was so fun.
It was the best.
It was so fun.
It's what kept me in fighting longer than I should have been.
You think so?
Yes. I had already given up 3 years prior to that.
Because of the car accident, right?
No. I wanted to make money.
Yeah,
I wanted to make money. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do all these things. I'm not saying that you can't do both, but to be a high-level UFC fighter and to do both is impossible.
it's a very selfish game.
It is.
It's a very selfish game. So,
And I stayed in there longer than I should have. I should have retired 3 years prior. And I'm glad I didn't.
okay,
And I'm glad I didn't.
yeah,
I'm glad I met you. I'm glad I'm very happy at 33 years old. Everything had to have happened the way it happened for me to be here today. I have zero regrets.
yeah.
You guys give me more credit than I deserve. I want you to know that. I want you to know that because you think.
So
of
you
it as
say
like-
that.
No, but you think of it as like an altruistic thing. I never looked at it as a natural. Let me tell you the truth. I build into you, the better you guys will get, the more you build into me.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't want
know
you to
that.
think that
I
I
know
was
that.
like this, like
No, I don't
nice
think.
guy.
No,
I
you
thought to
weren't.
myself, if I make this motherfucker a
Yeah.
killer, he'll make me into an even better killer.
Oh no,
That
no,
was my mentality.
You most certainly were an asshole. There's no question
Yes.
about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not distracting from that, but what I'm is saying is like, I don't think I would be the fighter I am having had not gone through those things with you, if that makes any sense, right? Like it forced me to get over like sometimes being like, damn, bro, like I'm about to have to do like fucking on today, like to like go from being like, man, I'm not looking forward to this, to like graduating to, oh shit, all right, to then graduating again to, yeah,
It's another
let's
day.
fucking
It's
do
another
it, brother.
Saturday.
Let's fucking do it, dog. You know what I'm saying? So like,
What did you feel afterwards?
when
Just all of it. Man, I did some shit today. When you would talk to your wife, your girlfriend or fiance, forgive me. I don't know what the
Fiancé.
parameters,
Yeah,
fiance.
yeah.
When you would talk to them, by the way, I might keep this on the record just so you're aware.
That's okay.
Because that was I'm sure we're on the wide shot.
Yeah.
I always looked at it as, I do believe in the quote that iron sharpens iron.
Agree.
And I never did anything from an altruistic perspective. And I never said that I did.
Yeah.
I never said like, oh, I'm just a nice guy. No, I told you guys. I said, the better I can make you, the better you'll make me.
For sure.
But I always looked at it as like a band. These motherfuckers are in here with me, literally bleeding.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I mean, you know, I always say, like, one of the most endearing things that I'll say about people is like, you know, this person has hit me the most that anybody's ever hit me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the unsexy truth of that is, I guarantee has hit you more than you've ever been hit in your life.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a double-edged blade.
Yeah.
Is there any part of you that resents me?
No. Not one bit.
No?
Not
Okay.
one bit, brother. Like,
It's something I dwell on.
so to me, we for when you decide
You
that
did.
you want to do that,
No,
right?
no.
Well, okay.
You
True,
did.
true.
Because Ryan didn't.
Yeah,
Ryan came in there and Ryan didn't know what he signed
Yeah.
up for. So this is the thing about humility.
Yeah.
You perceive yourself as the same as everybody else. What I'm telling you is you, Jose, Chris, Eric,
Yeah.
Nico,
Yeah.
you 5 from everybody else.
Yeah.
You guys were different from everybody else.
So-
and there's a reason why every Wednesday, every Saturday, whatever,
Yeah.
we work together.
And I agree with that. Like I know that I'm not normal.
You're not cut
Like,
from the same
yeah,
cloth.
I know that I'm not normal, right? I know that, like,
It's a compliment.
yeah, and I know, like I said, it's just like you said, like even Eric now.
He's cold. He was cold back then.
I love.
He was
sparring
cold back
Eric.
then.
I love sparring Eric now. Like,
I get jealous. I want to come back in.
Yeah.
But I'm not welcome.
yeah,
I'm not welcome.
Yeah.
I get jealous though.
Yeah.
You have no idea how bad I want to come in for like, let's fucking go.
yeah.
I got all my gear.
Mhm.
I got my mouthpiece. I can still do it.
Like, man, like he's gotten so good.
Can I tell you another thing?
He's gotten so good.
If you guys come in there and start working me,
Mhm.
this is how I know I'm done fighting. This is how I know. Because if I came in there and you guys started working me, I think
Yeah. Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah, you wouldn't be like, no, I got to get that back.
They got better.
You're like, yes,
I
Yes.
stayed static.
that's
And
awesome.
they kept working.
Hell yeah.
This was the natural conclusion.
Yeah,
This is a reflection of me, not them.
exactly. Yeah.
There's not many people that would feel that way for.
Yeah,
There's not many.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes I wonder, should I have coached fighters? Should I have like stayed in the system? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I just think there's like variations of right.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have stayed in the MMA game, yeah, I would have produced fighters, and I chose, and I don't think that's the wrong choice.
Oh,
But,
very rewarding. You're shaping children to be
Yeah,
grown men.
that was the when I'm telling you, I sat there at night and we're just keep going. So just keep going.
I'm so sorry.
Well, no, you don't have to be sorry. I thought to myself, it was like a very coach came to me and said, hey, listen, I went to every year they have like this in-house tournament.
Mhm.
And I usually come there to like help with like keeping score, tapping the ref, whatever. And I noticed, I was like, man, there's like some real lack of like discipline, technique, and all these other things. So I asked him, I was like, do you need a little help? He's like, listen, if you want to come in and help, we'll take it today.
Yeah.
So if he would have told me, no, we don't need anything, we got everything covered, I probably would have coached fighters.
Okay.
I probably would have stayed at Finney's and be like, I'm done fighting, but I want to coach.
Yeah.
I'll do some striking classes, some MMA classes. I would have been what Eric was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would have been the best environment because I would have done it like 2 or 3 days a week, easy peasy. But when my coach who taught me wrestling, which was why I even got into MMA, was like, no, we could use a little help. It was the catalyst to like, okay, I could have zigged or zagged. Listen, I love you guys. I really love you guys.
And that was special for you at a different time in your life.
It was the twilight of my career, so I have an affinity for you guys. Yeah. So when I tell you, like, it's hard for me to say this, but like the reason I chose the high schoolers over you guys was more specifically because like high school wrestling, I would have never met you.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, like, there's a hierarchy to this. Like, there's no wrong answer. Yeah. There's only a more right answer. So like if I wouldn't have wrestled, I would have never met Wayne or Chris or Eric or any of these guys. Yeah. So like, what is more important for me to use my time with now? It's wrestling. Maybe some of these wrestlers, I'm not gonna lie to you, Wayne, based on proximity, maybe some of the wrestlers that I have end up finding their way to you.
Yeah.
There's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So go ahead.
Never mind.
No, say what you want to say.
I was say this summer I was actually trying to look for gyms so I could roll around saying shit.
I'm just saying. I mean, I know I'm not because I lived it.
Yeah.
I started as wrestling. I never thought about MMA. And then I'm sure there was a time where you didn't think about MMA. What I'm trying to say is correlating minds tend to congregate.
Yeah.
And there was a discussion that I made internally where I was like, do I go to Finney's and I become a coach? Because I'm sure if I would have went to Finney's, I'm fighting, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to teach MMA classes 3 days a week. Yeah. He would have been like, sure. Because
he would have loved it.
I would have charged him anything.
Yeah.
He would have loved it because of the money. Shout out Finney. But I thought to myself, like, if I'm, what's the cost benefit analysis? And here's the other thing I thought. Truth be told, you want to know what I said to myself? I was like, Wayne, Chris, they're in good hands.
Yeah.
I don't think those guys. I'm gonna circle jerk you right now. I don't think those guys that are there, if they go to any other gym, they will not have selfless individuals like you and Chris.
Yeah.
I put you guys both on a pedestal because you guys are both cut from the same cloth. You are equal amounts of ego, competition, and humility. Yeah. And it's so hard to find individuals that have all of it. Combination of age and wisdom and competitive nature and athleticism and genetics and all these other variables. They don't know how. Most gyms I went to, from MCS to CMAA to St. Charles MMA to Wolves Den, there was all of like competitive nature with the people among you. What I tried to foster, and I hope still stands, is we are not competing with each other. It is us against everybody else. It's us against everybody else.
I used to kind of go along with that. So, like Joe, myself, Eric, Rachel, when she was still there, we'd take like, a group of kids or young men or women who wanted to compete in like the IKF tournaments that Chad puts on.
Shout out Chad and Stand Up Fight Series.
Oh man.
Great tournament.
Chad.
Great tournament.
But respect for Chad. But like some of the times it'd feel like we just weren't getting like the same judging as everybody else. Whether it's right or whether it's true or not, that's how it felt and appeared sometimes. Right? So like we'd go back like that week. Like, you know what? I'm like, if that's what it is, then like fuck it. It can just be us against everybody. Like I have no problem with that. I was like, we're really gonna have to work, and then whenever we go against other gyms or other teams, it's like, and now we're gonna show you. Like, so like there was a bit of a period of like when like I personally I can't speak
chip
for
on your
like,
shoulder.
Like when it's just and it wasn't even just like for me fighting. It was like from a coaching standpoint of like, I know, bro. Like now you guys got to do the work because like they think like this is a joke. Like they're like. I felt like we were being treated differently. And I was like, all right, if you're going to treat let us give you a reason to treat us differently.
Well, they
right?
thought of you differently because you were different. Has that ever come across your mind? You were the commercial gym that decided to be serious. And there's a lot of gyms that decide to be commercial.
But the thing about that is though, like you say that, but how many like people have done well in fighting that came from a commercial gym?
Not many.
I mean, but I'm not saying not many, but I've seen it happen, right? I've seen Stephen Mann fight in Bellator. You know what I'm saying? Like
Locally.
yeah, locally.
On the undercard.
Yeah, but his biggest
By
thing
the way,
was
Steve, I love fighter.
he's an absolute beast.
What
He
I
doesn't know how to cut weight.
What I said is absolutely true.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to cut weight.
What I'm trying to say though is give me another one. I'll give you the reason why.
I mean, so
There's a reason why Joaquin Buckley failed in Bellator and then succeeded in the UFC after he left.
that's true. Yeah,
I'm sorry. There's a reason why Evan Elder succeeded.
but he was succeeding before he left.
Kind of.
I mean, he didn't lose until he got to the UFC.
Yeah, but yes, but I would make the argument that the reason why he was in the UFC's radar to be spotted for that short replacement notice was because he moved.
Oh,
There was-
So
there was
she was a
no,
huge gym.
there was a conversation me and Elder had.
Yeah.
Evan Elder had. Where I told him, he's like, what do you think about me moving on to Sanford at the time? And I was like, listen, because before I came to Kill Cliff, I told him, I said, you are at the point in your career where you need bodies.
Yeah.
You are the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You need more than any other. Like, if you've been training for 20 years, you don't need motherfuckers in the room.
No.
What you need is people that are on the same page as you to get you ready for the next fight.
Yeah.
You are 20, I think it was 25 or 26 at the time.
Probably
I was
younger.
like, what you need is a room full of killers for the next year or two.
Yeah.
Not too long because you're going to put too much damage on your body. But you need to, because that was what St. Charles MMA was for me.
Yeah.
St. Charles MMA, I was in there with Sampo and Alp and a slew of other guys from different weight classes where I was like, holy fucking shit. I felt like I was not a bad fighter, but an average fighter. And I didn't realize, I'm like, no, everybody else is exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
So they make me feel the way I felt like I made people feel at Finney's.
Mm-hmm.
They were exceptional, but I made them feel average. And that's, I think there's a cycle to fighting.
Yeah.
You need to feel like you're the nail.
Yeah.
So that when you become the hammer, you understand that privilege.
So to go along, when I actually started to kind of feel like, yeah, I'm good. Like aside from you, like taking you out of the equation, I actually went to Wolves Den to spar. Because Joe is super cool with Danny Moriarty. So he was like, yeah, come out. You should bring
Yeah,
Wayne.
from ATT Evolution days.
Yeah. So he's like, you should come out, bring Wayne. I'd like to train with him. Did some rounds with Danny. I did some rounds with Jordan Howard. And after that, I was like, Jordan Howard's so damn good. Like, so damn good. And Danny was good too. But afterwards, Danny messaged me on Instagram me about training, if I was going to be fighting soon, so on and so forth. I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to do another amateur one. He was like, wait, you're an amateur? And I was like, yeah. He was like, bro, no fucking way. I thought you were a pro. I was like, no, just
You could be.
just a guy who, fights, and I'm a disciplined guy. I said, if I'm going to do it, I want to be good at it, especially in something that's mano y mano. I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to get in there to let somebody else beat my ass, bro. Like that is not the way, so I have to do everything I can to be better. So that's why I went to a different gym where I know they have high level guys.
Cross-training is normal.
Yeah.
And in fact, not only normal, but should be amplified.
I actually tell all of our guys to do it.
Yeah.
I tell all of our guys
But tell them with a healthy skepticism.
Yeah.
When you go to another house,
No,
you're the other guy.
You are.
They look him up.
You know, it's funny though you say that, but so we've actually had a decent amount of guys from other gyms come train with
but
us.
the problem is, Wade, you don't understand that you guys are different. I'll say this openly because we never fostered that relation. I will take credit for this.
Yeah.
Because when Eric and Steve environment, when Rashard was there was a different environment.
Yeah.
When Adam was there was a different environment.
Yeah.
I changed that. Because that was the number one reason why I didn't want to cross-train. The reason why I didn't want to cross-train was I knew that when I would go to other gyms, everyone wanted to beat me up.
Yeah.
So that they can go on social media or they can go on their group chat and be like, we fucked up Arion today. go to other gyms to learn from other gyms, but I didn't want to give them up on one up on me.
Yeah.
So when we had people come in, I made it apparent what was the one thing I would do with everybody else that came in their first day. What was the one thing I would do? I don't know if you recall this.
I mean, you always tell everybody like
no, I would make them go with me first. I said your first round is with me.
Yeah.
So that you can understand the pace that we go at in this gym.
Yeah.
And I will reciprocate the energy that I get.
Yeah.
You want to knock my head off? I'll knock your head off.
For sure.
And if you don't, I'm good.
Yeah.
How many times have we had guys leave after they got knocked the fuck out?
Plenty.
How many times have we had guys leave where they're like, you're going too hard?
Plenty.
I'm like, no. I'm giving you the energy you gave me.
Yeah.
You came in here respectful and wanting to learn, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
I'll be respectful back.
Yeah.
But you want to come in here and win the day, I will fuck you up.
If you want to come in here and just fight, we can just fight.
I'll fuck you up.
How about we just
No. We're not going to fight.
Yeah.
Wayne,
Yeah.
we're not going to fucking fight. You're going to leave here or concussed. And you're going to go back to your gym and be like, they fucked me up. That was the goal. Don't come into my fucking house and think you own this shit. Because I would never go into St. Charles MMA.
Yeah.
I would never go into Wolves Den. I would never go into ESMMA. I would never go into the church thinking this is my fucking house.
Yeah.
I am.
Never.
And I will treat myself as such. Don't come into my fucking house thinking you own this shit.
For sure.
You are my guest.
For sure.
That's my mentality.
That is the mentality.
Whether I'm right or wrong.
No, that's the mentality to have. Like give as good as you. But like everyone's been respectful. Every single person
As they
that comes
should
in
be.
is respectful, man. Like but I do think part of that is we have guys there that is like.
You fostered that.
I don't know if I want to be an asshole to this guy because they got
fostered
guys
that.
who are like, if I'm an asshole, they can go there with me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just
An environment of humility and ego.
Oh, it is. That's what
What
it
a
is.
treasure.
That's what it is. And it is a tough balance.
It's every day.
It's
It's
definitely
every
a
day.
tough balance, bro. It's definitely a tough balance. Like you said, it's every day in this life. Actually, I actually think it's a very good correlation to life. Like if you want to be perfectly in life, if you want success, you have to be disciplined. Let's start with that, right? Like you have to have structure, right? You have to have will, right? Like you have to be self-motivated, right? Especially if you want to do something on your own, right? Like if you don't want to like line, so to speak, right? The level of self-motivation and self-confidence and belief you have to have. Like, right? No one's gotten anywhere without self-belief. Like, not of extreme import. So it's just, I love the correlation between life and fighting at the same time. I love the lessons it teaches. I love the friendships. I feel like they're almost the purest form of friendship, honestly. So because like you've said before, like to be able to go into a gym, get in a cage or in a ring with somebody, beat the shit out of each other for 3-5 minutes at a time, and then
in a day.
In a day,
how many times have we done that? I tell people like I'm like have hit me in the face over 1,000 times.
Tons. And then guess what? As soon as it's over, we're sitting down, we're laughing, we're having
what are you
a
doing
good
after
time.
this?
Exactly. Trying to
You wanna grab a coffee?
bite?
You wanna grab a
Exactly.
lunch?
What you want to
Yeah.
go do? You know, so like I just think it's a really good representation of life. I think it's something that everyone should try. And like everyone should compete or fight, right? Like that's a different level of mentality, right? You have to be a different person mentally to even want to walk into a cage in your underwear and people staring at you and under lights and knowing who wants to separate you from consciousness, and you're like, oh, I want to go in here and have a good time.
I think you have to be a little fucked up to do that.
I mean, we are definitely kind of insane human beings.
Yeah. When I see people that can just train and be happy,
Yeah.
I envy them.
Yeah, I can't.
I envy them.
I'm too competitive.
They have a discipline that I don't have. I have to prove myself in front of people that I don't know. That's a lack of discipline in myself.
See, I don't know. So for me, it's if I put all of this work in, I want to know.
Why? You already do.
I want to know. It's
Yeah,
like
you already do.
But I want to get it. But I feel you.
I know.
But you don't. But you don't know.
Yeah.
But you don't.
I agree with you as well.
You don't.
I agree with you as well. I often say this. I'll take the person that has had one fight over the person that's been training 10 years.
Yeah.
Because the person that has had one fight knows more.
They know.
So there's a method to the madness when it comes to like occasion.
Yeah.
I agree with you. When I say that like I can envy the person who like comes in there, trains Monday through Friday and they don't feel like they have to, test themselves.
Yeah.
I wish I had that freedom.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have that freedom. That's why I was like, oh man, I gotta show every fucking good I am. I'm fucking culture is not built, but any one man can be the catalyst for culture. What you need is to invest into a group of individuals that all have the same, you said it earlier,
like-mindedness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like one person cannot make a group of people, but one person can of a group of people. But that group of people need to see the value in that one person. It's 50% each, right? Like you need one person to be the leader, but you need a group of people to be like, ooh, what he's preaching, that's the right shit.
For sure. For sure.
So when I first started coaching them, it was for them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to badmouth anybody or anything. But let's just say that the program that produced me was far from its glory days.
Okay.
Right? So when I got in there was a bit of a culture shock for me too. I was like, whoa, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? I will say the first 2 weeks that I coached, that was the most discussion about me getting like let go.
Okay.
That happened.
Okay.
Like parents were not happy, administrators were not happy, athletic directors were not happy.
You use colorful language from time to time.
Yeah, but it's not even about that. It's like,
I don't see the problem. I wouldn't see a problem at all.
Yeah. That's because you're cut from a different cloth. My perspective was, do we want to win or lose? If we want to lose, I'm not here.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Yeah.
Now there's a way to win. There's a way to win that I want to foster, and there's a way I win I don't want to foster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to foster wrestling is everything, give up everything else in your life.
Yeah.
It's just not the case.
Yeah.
But what I do want to foster is like school is important, your relationships are important, all these things are important, but so is wrestling.
Yeah.
So is winning.
Yeah.
And losing should always be like this incredible valley that you have to overcome.
Yeah.
Everything that you lose at, when I lose at life in anything, like I didn't get the raise, I didn't get the promotion, I didn't get the job, I didn't get this or that or whatever, this should feel like a loss.
It should hurt a little bit.
It should hurt a lot of bit.
It should hurt.
A lot of it. It should debilitate you.
Yeah.
It should fucking suck.
Yeah.
When you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser.
That's true.
Losing should fucking suck.
Yeah.
Now, losing should not stop you from doing what you want to do, which is kind of oxymoronic because I ended my career on a loss. But what people don't understand, I care about how I went out. I really didn't. I really don't. My mentality was always like, I will win. Winning will just transcend.
Yeah.
I win as a coach.
Yeah.
I have immense pride in what our program is today versus what it was. I win in my corporate environment. My salary, my position, my status, my everything. I have immense pride as a father, as a husband, as a leader of my household. There's nothing in my life that I feel inadequate in. So I'm winning.
I'm always striving for more.
God
I
bless.
always just want more.
Greed is good.
To a certain extent, but
That's why they call it a sin.
to a certain extent, but
That's why they call it a sin.
it's just, but also like because I'm an only child, I'm very stubborn at the same time, right? So, I've always kind of, not my way, but I want to do it my way. And I know that, my way isn't always the most conventional. But at the end of the day, like I like to think that I'm very self-aware, right? And
Would you consider yourself?
I would consider myself very logical.
There's a correlation between self-awareness and logical.
I would consider myself both of those things. But with that, like like I said earlier, like I understand that like at the end of the day, I'm the person who has to be able to live with my decisions, things that I do or don't do, right? Um, like good or bad, when it's all said and done, unfortunately, you, me, the individual is the person who has to be able to go to bed, wake up in the morning, and feel a certain way about their life, their decisions, where they are, um, just everything, right? So, like, aside from fighting, just thinking like outside of that, right? Like, I feel like I was very fortunate to experience different, I guess, levels of life growing up, right? Like, as a really little kid, having more of an abundant life, right? And then
God bless.
turning, becoming and seeing what struggle looks like, you know? And from there, like having different people come into, my mother's life, which is in turn came into my life, seeing different ways to make, uh, like I attribute a lot of the person I am to my father, rest in peace, and like in terms of like what I wanted and what I didn't want to be, right? I attribute a lot of who I am to my mother, who I think is the best person in the world, right? So, so like me and Vic will be talking, and that's my fiance. It's not a guy, I promise. So
Pause.
we'll be, so
Michael.
we'll be talking, and then she'll be like something Deb G, and I'll be like, she's the GOAT, but like man, she ain't shit, bro. Like because like she'll just like tell you and she's like she doesn't care like if it's good, like bad, indifferent, like if it's her opinion, she's gonna give it to you, she's gonna let you know. And like so that having that type of a person like be integral in my life helped me out a lot, especially being like it's hard to raise a man as a woman, right? Like a woman can't teach a man how to be a man,
I
right?
disagree.
I don't think a woman can teach a man how to be a
disagree.
man. I think
your mom taught.
no, she didn't teach me how to be a man. I think she taught me how to be a very well-rounded person, right? I think she taught me how to have integrity. She taught me how to be a gentleman, you know? She taught me a lot of things, but the basis of
Masculinity.
being a man, yeah, like you have to learn that from a man.
No.
Well, you don't have to.
It's the first thing I disagree. This is the first thing that you've said all night that I disagree.
I don't think you necessarily have to. I think it's very beneficial. Because
I learned how to be a man from my mom. Masculinity transcends the genders. I understand what you're trying to say, that there are some acute male perspectives that only a male can show you. But what I'm saying is those things that can be learned through the life of living as a male, dignity, responsibility,
for sure.
discipline, these are all values associated with masculinity. And unfortunately for men, they're not solely associated with masculinity.
Okay, I agree with that.
My father taught me a lot of things. God bless you, Dad. I love you. My father taught me a lot of things. My mom taught me a lot of things to do. Okay. And it's the great conundrum that I feel as an individual. Mm. Because, so your mother's still alive?
Yeah.
God bless. Yeah. Your father's rest in peace? Yes. God bless. Yes. It's the opposite for me. My father's still alive. My mother is resting with God. Yeah. Was the bedrock of the man that I am today. And she taught me a lot about masculinity, about emotional and, sensitivity and intelligence, all these other things. I don't disagree with the synopsis of the masculine perspective is different from the feminine. I do agree, but I disagree with, I think there comes a time where there are exceptional people that cross genders. I think there are exceptionally socially intelligent, emotionally intelligent men that can raise women. And I think that there are some women that rise to the occasion and learn all the lessons of masculinity and can breed that into men. That is the norm. But I do think that it can be done. So when it is done, I don't want to shy from this. Listen, I've had a lot of great male mentors in my life. Shout out Coach Ford. Shout out Dan Shu. Shout out my father. All these other things. They all pale in comparison to my mother.
So is nobody on the face of this planet that I hold to a higher regard than my mother.
Yes.
There's not a single person. So
Same.
I'm not saying like what I'm saying to diminish her by any means, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
So,
I guess what I'm trying to say though is, Wayne, what if, here's my hypothesis, the reason why we get along so well. And what if the reason why we complement each other so well, and we respect each other so well, and we understand each other so well, is maybe, just maybe, is because we both arrive from a feminine hierarchy.
possibly. I could not deny that whatsoever. I don't either.
Now, I'm not saying, here's another thing I'm going to say. I'm not saying that a man does not have a place in this. But what I am saying is, in extreme circumstances, there are exceptional people, cross genders.
Yeah.
I hope that if, I want to be careful how I say this. God forbid, life, and my daughter at 4 years old or 3 years old has to now live with just me.
Yeah.
I want to think that I can learn. I want to try my hardest to exemplify the characteristics of both femininity and masculinity in my daughter. And I want to prepare her as best as she can be. Regardless if that would be my goal.
Yeah.
And I know that if God forbid something happened to me, the reason I chose my wife is she exemplifies those strong characteristics.
Everything
and
you want.
If now, we could make the argument that if your father was around or if my father was better or what have you, we could always, what ifs. What I am saying is, I'm telling you right now, there was a direct correlation between my mother's strength and my strength. And I don't think that it's like, capped by genders. I think it exceeded genders, but I will also concede that is the exception, not the rule.
I agree with everything you said, and I think maybe
our mothers
I'm
were just cut from a
miscommunicating.
different cloth.
What did you say?
Maybe our mothers were just cut from a different cloth.
Oh, my mother had to be a mother as a child.
Yes.
Same. My mother's mother passed after giving birth to her youngest daughter. So my mother's father didn't know how to raise 3 girls. He had no idea how to do that. So the responsibility became my mother's responsibility to be a mother to children, right? So
be a mother to her siblings.
Yes.
That's a responsibility, not a duty.
So I'm actually very lucky that I had someone who was pre-trained, right? As a child, she'd already done it, right? So she had a very clear idea and objective in what she wanted to do and accomplish with having her own child, right? So I'm beyond lucky. Not to suck for her, unfortunately.
No, by all means.
No, I'm just saying, but it sucked for her to have to have that level of adulthood at such a young age, right?
Do you look at the hurdles that you've had to overcome in your life as these negative things, or do you look at them as positive attributes that have led to the individual that you are?
I look at them as positive things, but there are unfortunate things that led to those positive things, though, right?
Let me ask you a different question now. When your mother looks at you and the man that you've become and the life that you live, do you think she looks at her childhood as a detriment, or do you think that she thinks prepared to lead this man?
Oh, I'm 1,000% sure she thinks, thank God.
Dude,
I know.
Time is a weird fucking thing.
One of the best compliments my mom gives me is we'll have conversations and she'll be like, Wayne, even if you weren't my son, I would enjoy you as a person, right? So and for me, that's a huge compliment,
God
right?
bless.
For her to that to me makes me feel all right, so I'm doing it right then, right?
Yes.
So so what I was saying was
forgive me because I do.
No, you're okay. But I'm
shout
just
out,
saying,
Mom.
Just saying from the age of we'll say to 15, 16, right? It's just my mom, right? Showing me the way, right? Showing me the way, giving me all the lessons. And then again, rest in peace, Roscoe Bernard Johnson, like the guy that. So my dad's my dad, right? Like he's always gonna be, but that's the man that my father, right?
Your mentor, your role model,
That's
your
the
everything.
That's the guy that like I looked at, and I was like, well, fuck, that's how you do it. Like like as a man, like, and I think that might also be where I got like part of my entrepreneurial spirit, right? Because like while he had a job, this man had like 3 businesses outside of his job, right? So like
He was always working.
and it drove my mom crazy. But he's like, we got goals we got to hit. He's like, and
Ooh, say that one more time.
we got goals we got to hit.
We got goals we want to hit.
We got goals we got to hit, man. Like, and so it's
Ooh, at the fucking truth.
it's the truth, and the sacrifice is time, right? So like,
Time is the price. The sacrifice.
yeah, okay.
The sacrifice is the time with our kids and our family.
That is
Time is the price.
Agreed. Time is the price.
If you're single,
yeah,
there's no price.
no, not at all. Yeah.
But when you have options,
Yeah.
the price is the family time.
Yeah.
The time with your children,
Yeah.
the time with your wife, the time with your family, your whoever
Yeah.
the fuck you're close with.
Yeah.
Time is the currency.
Yeah, time
The
is
price is what we're giving up.
so one thing we can't get back. So you have to test your ability, especially like if you want to hit these goals.
Do you ever think about that? So we're gonna get on to the next part of this conversation is about you yourself, your interpersonal relationships. But before we talk about your businesses, your life, and everything like that, I do want to talk about that because this is a active calculus that I take into consideration in all things that I do.
Mhm.
For me to sit here tonight, I have to give up time with something else,
Yeah.
as I'm sure you have.
Mhm.
So that's why I have such reverence for the guests.
Mhm.
You could be anywhere else, with anyone else, doing anything else. But
For sure.
that's an immense respect and honor that you give me. So I try to reciprocate.
Yeah.
By the way, vice versa. I could be at home with my kids. I
Yeah.
could be at bed with my wife and my daughter. Like, there's a price we're paying, even as stupid as it sounds, even for having a simple conversation.
Mhm.
There is a sacrifice.
There is, and you have to value the time, right? I wouldn't be here if I didn't value you. If I didn't value the conversation that I first saw we would have, regardless of what the subject would be, then I wouldn't give my time to that, right?
Cheers.
So, it's time means so much. It's the one thing we can't get back.
And we can't create more of.
You can't. Like and
I can always make more money.
you can.
I can't make more time.
Not at all. The thing I think about is the only way to make your day longer is the thing that I've settled into over the past few years, right?
What does that mean?
You have to
Forgive me.
sacrifice sleep. You have to sacrifice things because there's 24 hours in a day, right? I spend 8 hours of it sleeping,
No, you
right?
don't.
I mean, no, I don't. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm,
you
I'm
don't.
saying theoretically, right? Theoretically,
Ideally,
you spend 8 hours of it sleeping.
how much do you spend? 5? 6?
Probably, yeah.
5 or
That's
6?
probably about it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, I would love to get more. Got shit to do though. Like I got.
Would you, though?
I got shit to do. What?
Would you though? You could. Here's the thing about sleep, or forgive me. Let me. And we discussed this with Tony. At any moment, you could choose to be normal. At any moment, you could choose to sleep in. At any moment, you could shirk the responsibilities and whatever you have.
You choose a life of mediocrity.
Choose not to.
Yeah, I don't want to be mediocre.
You chose not to.
I don't want to. I know. Right. If success was easy, everybody would obtain it. Right. Like if it was something that you could just sleep 8 hours, wake up, dilly dally your day away, go do it.
Have you ever looked at it the opposite way?
I don't think so.
By virtue of everybody achieving something that cannot be success.
Okay.
So the reason I say that is there's a lot of people that say like, well, if everybody could do it, it's not worth doing.
I didn't say it wasn't worth it.
No, forgive me. Let me just add another paradigm
Okay.
to it. If everybody do or was doing what you were doing, would you feel special?
I guess it'd be the norm at that point, right?
Exactly.
It'd be the norm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then what would be the norm? Like, The reason I say this is the metric for success should be increasing over the generations.
Yeah.
It should be harder. Because, the previous generation worked 10-hour days.
Yeah.
So we work 11-hour days.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case. The fact of the matter is we value that which I want to be careful how I say this. Forgive me, because I don't want to strokes for different folks, and there is no such thing as right or wrong outside of the law and God. Take that for however you will. But what I am trying to say is the metrics in which you prestige yourself is directly correlated to what people are not willing to do, not what they are, what they're not willing to do. And what they're not willing to do is usually correlated with discipline and responsibility. Mm-hmm. And I've said this many times on this podcast, but I'll say it again. What makes a man is not the cock and balls between their legs, but it is the attributes in which they take over, specifically to discipline. Taking over responsibility for a day is easy. Taking it over for 18 years is hard.
Yeah.
And that is where discipline comes in.
Yeah.
Because I have to do this every day.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a man. Now, I'm not saying this is correlated to solely men. I had this conversation earlier in this conversation where exceptional women could come in and teach the lessons of masculinity the same way as men can. But they are the exception, not the rule. The reason I bring this up, the reason why I say what I'm saying right now is too many times do I hear people saying like, oh, I'm willing to do what other people aren't, as if this is like some sort of accolade.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
We're not special, Wayne. You want to know what we are? Slightly above average. We are slightly above average. And I have no problem fucking saying this. If anybody hears that and gets offended, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm slightly above you.
Yeah.
If you're average, I'm slightly above you.
So I don't.
If I wasn't, you'd be in a 3-piece suit on a podcast.
So it
I'm
took
the
me
asshole.
a long time to actually feel like what I was doing and having my own business was actually successful, right? Like, so only because like I'm not in my end goal. I'm not in my end goal.
Do you have a lot of people around you that do that?
What?
Your inner circle, what does that look like? Is it a lot of entrepreneurs? Is it a lot of like people that are like having the conversations of like, what is the next move? Wayne, by the way, I was just talking to my friend who works in logistics, or hey, Wayne, my buddy in fintech. Like, what are the you're about to talk about entrepreneurship, but before we talk about that, because we are going to have that conversation, I want to have this precursor conversation. Yeah. Wayne, what are you looking like when you talk about your entrepreneurial spirit and all these other things? I understand the mentor perspective, but what does your inner circle look like? Surely you have like-minded individuals. And by the way, if you tell me no one else in my life does this shit, you're the exception.
So
you're the exception.
So my good friend owns a restaurant. He was in real estate. He owned his own electrician business.
Shout out that guy.
I have one of my cousins. He's in finance, but he also like produces, and he's very successful with that. He lives in Houston. Not really my brother. I'm an only child, but it's my best friend. It's my god cousin. Has been my best friend since the day he was born. He does stunts and acts in LA, right? So like,
he's an actor.
So I might not have like necessarily friends who are, so to speak, but I have friends and people who have found their own path outside of the norm, right? So like, the ability to be able to sustain your life, right? Something that doesn't feel like work, right? Like, to me, that's
a blessing.
There is something to be said about that, right? That like he's not like a big star or like hasn't, but like he does stunts. He hangs out. I've talked to him before. He's like, bro, I was on set for like 10 hours. I didn't do anything. I paid a ton to just be there, So like, to have those type of jobs, it's like, bro, like that is cool. That is awesome. Those are the people who made me realize that, you know, having my own business was also cool, right? I didn't as like cool. I viewed it as, at the end of the day, if I'm gonna work really, really hard for somebody, I'd much rather just be myself.
God bless.
Like, you know, like,
God bless.
'Cause
Say that one more time, Wayne.
I mean, if I'm gonna work really, really hard for somebody, I'd prefer to do it for myself.
Why work for someone else's dream when I can work for my own?
Why? Right? I mean, especially like when I got to the point of, I mean, I make just as much money as any job I could have, but guess what? I make all the rules, right? So like,
The autonomy.
yeah. So like, guess what? Like, there's nothing better than being that if like an account comes to me and they're like, complain, and I don't agree with it, I can be like, yeah, you know what? All money's not good money. Go fuck yourself.
We no longer want to do business.
Exactly.
With
You know, it feels good to like, at the
Our
end of the day,
business direction no longer aligns.
I don't have to eat shit. Like if we're gonna just be like,
You do.
to a certain extent.
No, you get to choose. For the first time in your life as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I don't believe we ever stop eating shit. I believe everybody eats shit.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
when you have the autonomy, you get to pick and choose
the shit you gotta eat.
you want to
That's
eat.
true. Yeah.
We all have to eat shit.
That's true.
There's
That's
no
true.
such thing as a bad job, only bad salaries.
Yeah.
And there's never an instance where you stop eating shit.
No.
You just get to either you eat the shit that you're given or you get to choose the shit that you're going to eat.
Exactly.
There's no difference.
And
I don't know a single person who doesn't eat shit.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
I know
like, I eat shit too.
multi-millionaires.
Yeah, I eat shit too.
Multi-millionaires.
I do.
Tell me like, this client is a fucking asshole. And I'm like, well, why'd you do what you had to do? They're $30 million a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 30 million a year, I'll eat some fucking shit.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So
Gobble gobble.
yeah,
Like, you kidding me?
with a linen napkin on my neck. You know what I mean?
But it is nice to around you, who, like you said earlier, like I think before this, who have levels of wealth that you aspire for,
Yes.
right?
So a mentor.
like, yeah,
In many.
yeah,
There's active and passive mentors.
Yeah.
There are people in your life that you've met that you strive to be like.
yeah,
Anything to do with your life.
for sure.
But then there's also the people in your life that part wisdom to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both are important.
They are. They
You
are.
don't need to spend time with someone to impact them. But I do think that spending time with someone can.
or just for like, right? You know better, you do better, right? So if
What does
if
that mean, Wayne?
So
forgive me, guys. This is going to be philosophical.
so if I
You know better. Who the fuck knows better?
if
Most people don't know shit.
what I'm saying, if you have a better understanding of something, your ability to execute and do a better job at that is a lot higher,
Okay.
right?
I agree.
So having someone in your life who can like talk to you about success and levels of success and what it takes and requires to get there, like even regardless of the field, right? Like that knowledge they do is something that, to me, I think if you want to be successful, you have to be somewhat of a sponge to that information, right? So like I don't have to necessarily agree, but I need to be accepting and willing to take in this information and do what works best for me, right? So
That's
like,
so true.
and it's not necessarily like what's best for everybody, and that's why like I specifically say like for the individual, right? Like, all right, like, well I just got an accountant, right? I was kind of didn't
You
want
just
to.
got an accountant?
I just got an accountant. Victoria went to school for
Oh
accounting.
my
so,
God.
So she was doing it all for
We're going to
me.
do some inside baseball.
And then she just got to the point where she was like, you know what?
She was
like,
handling your bookkeeping?
all of that, and
Gotcha.
does a great job of it.
Shout out to Vic.
So, but she was like, I think we've reached a point where like,
You know what's funny?
Like-
It's not a threshold of money coming in that you should have an accountant. It's a threshold of layers to your businesses
Yeah.
or LLCs.
Yep.
Because I want to be careful how much I say. If you have a side hustle and you're doing it under like no precursor whatsoever, you're an idiot.
For sure.
If you
Definitely
generate
are.
$1 of revenue for yourself to any capacity,
Yeah.
tie it to an LLC.
Yeah.
Because for whatever that value you brought in, there was a cost associated. And that cost is directly monetized through tax incentives.
It sure is.
Let me say the quiet part out loud. The limited liability company was created specifically as a threshold to entice the entrepreneurial spirit of America, of the laws and regulations of your land. And I'll go another step further. If you are a simple W-2 employee, meaning every year you only have one employer, you make your sole income from them, you have nothing else, you don't even need to do your taxes.
Not even
because
almost.
your employer has already done that for you through your HR.
Yeah.
You could take your W-2 and file that directly with the IRS.
Yeah.
I just saved you $200. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You don't need H&R Block. You don't need TurboTax. You go to the irs.gov, and there's like a little portal there that says like file taxes.
Okay.
You're welcome. You can submit your W-2 as a file to file your taxes, especially if you're
didn't know
like,
that.
yeah, dude, you don't need an accountant. There's an entire industry of like pseudo accountants that charge you anywhere between like $90 to file your W-2.
Yeah.
You know what? Email me your W-2.
Yeah.
I'll file your taxes for free.
Yeah.
You want to know why, Tony? You want to know how long it would take me? 5 seconds. 5 seconds? Do you have an IRS account? 5 seconds?
I haven't had a W-2 in
So doesn't matter. Every April 15th, when that shit rolls around, unless you're filing an extension because you got some layers to that onion, get an accountant specifically for expense allocation.
So every time I receive a check, I say I only.
That's too much. That's too much.
Well, but I want to err on the side of
caution.
Yeah. I don't want to. It's not like I'm not.
Fortune favors the bold. I got greed up there for a reason, motherfucker. 15%. Suck my dick.
Oh, bro, but like I don't want
30%.
I don't
Wayne bored me.
I don't want to, but I don't want to have to think about having to pay.
Yeah,
or where
but
this money
how
comes-
often do you get a return?
I don't. I pay my taxes. I pay every
Even
year.
on top of?
No. That's what I'm saying. That covers it every time.
You pay your taxes, but what I'm saying is at the end of the year, do you get a return?
No, because I don't.
Do you owe?
I owe every year.
You might need a new accountant.
I owe every year. No, I just got the account.
Okay.
So, but no,
You might need a new
save
accountant.
every single, like, I just keep 30% because, like I said, like, since I know I'm going to owe,
You don't pay throughout the year?
I know I should quarterly. I know I should, but like, I just let the money sit there. Like, I don't touch it, and then like once, January comes here and I start getting all of these 1099 forms from different companies,
Do you mind if I, for the next 40, just monologue?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what me and Wayne are discussing right now is when you're an entrepreneur, when you make more than just W-2 or a 1099, you're talking about variable income that isn't necessarily seen by the IRS.
Yeah.
So what we're basically saying is, Ariane, should we give that money up front at possibly getting a return, in which case we gave the government a 0% interest loan?
Yeah.
Because let's say Wayne says, I think I owe $10,000 this quarter.
Yeah.
And he pays $10,000 every quarter.
Yeah.
So $40,000 at the end of the year. And then the IRS comes back and tells Wayne, hey, after we looked at all your numbers, you actually overpaid us. Here's $2,000. Wayne gave them a 0% interest loan for $2,000.
Yeah.
Now you get that money back at the end of the year, but here's the quiet part out loud. Inflation's a very real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say he gave that money in January of 2026, and then by January of 2027, he gets a return. It's obviously before the sense of calendar and making it easier for people to understand. The value of that $2,000 that you're returning to Wayne is actually less than when Wayne paid it to you because of inflation. And I know 2 or 3% might not necessarily seem like a lot to people, but when Biden had what if I told you out of $2,000, 200 of it is like gone
Yeah.
in terms of like spending power. Suddenly it's material,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, what I'm saying is pay less so that at the end of the year, you have something to pay.
Yeah.
Like if the government comes to me and says like, hey, Aaron, $10,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I didn't give you a 0% interest loan. But that's a fine line because to try to calculate that in real time with legislation and everything between federal and state, when I get to the point at the end of the year and they tell me you owe $20 federal and you have an $800 state return, we did it. We did it.
The crazy part is that's what it's like, though.
2026 is over. We did it. Because if I get a return at the end of the year, I think I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
And if I owe
Yeah.
a bunch of fucking money,
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot. Here's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are taxes so hard? Why do I
Yeah.
I need one?
Yeah.
Why do I have to calculate this shit? Why do I have
It's
to
tricky.
I have
It's
anxiety
tricky.
right now because it's February and I'm starting to get. So I just paid the last of the employees.
See the IRS layoffs though, like they're gonna struggle.
I would make the argument that the IRS and what they do in terms of is something that AI will take over.
Probably. Yeah.
It is the most bottom of the barrel, like auditing is the most bottom of the barrel, like white collar work, because what you're doing is comparing cell A1 to B1 on an Excel spreadsheet, which I could do through a formula.
AI
So
is
I hate
such
to, like when people talk about like, when people talk about like downsizing of government and stuff like that, I'm like, you should want that.
Yeah.
You should always want that.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
thing that automation
Yeah, for
and
sure.
AI should hit is the government, because they're sorry. The difference between OpEx and CapEx. OpEx is operation. That there are the money that you have to spend to make money. That's just flat out expense.
Yeah.
CapEx is capital expenditure. It's the money that I'm investing and I'm spending in an investment pattern to make more money. I spend $1, I get $3. Sounds good to me, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you.
Take a double
I'll-
up every day.
I'll do that every day.
Yeah.
But OpEx is like I spend $1 to get back $1. That's okay, cool,
yeah.
whatever. Break even
F
sounds
that
great.
trade. I don't want that trade. No.
So what I'm trying to say, Tony, is to the point of taxes and everything. If you are just a W-2 or a 1099 employee, don't use an accountant. Go to irs.gov. File your taxes. You will get your tax documentation already from your employer or your recruiter or whatever, because that's literally what they pay them for. So like if you're a 1099, you get paid $55 an hour from your recruiter. Guess what they're charging? $70 an hour. And that delta keeps them afloat. But a part of that delta is also these tax documents and like this HR that you have to do through your recruiter, not your employer, right? So it's like, make them earn their salaries. Thank you. Direct Connect. You do not need H&R Block, TurboTax,
Tax
or
Slayer.
anybody. That $100 to $200, you're welcome. You're welcome. I just gave you $200 back. Forgive me, because the original conversation was about you just acquiring an accountant.
Yeah.
But the subtext that I wanted to give is the reason why you were now your finances are becoming difficult.
Yeah.
It's becoming difficult in the sense of we're bringing in money from a different aspect.
Yeah.
We're spending money in a different aspect. This is no longer something that I can kind of contain within myself.
It's no longer a straight line anymore.
Like Rick Ross once said,
Yeah.
or no, sorry, DJ from Success.
I will take that.
It's a song.
I would much rather suffer from success than suffer from
More money,
struggle.
more problems.
Hey, I'll take it, man. Give me more problems. I need way more problems. But like,
In the form of hundreds.
yeah, right, man. In the form of blue notes, a whole bunch of Benjis.
Non-president.
Right, my favorite one. But like, so it's like, I mean, it's just like writing off things, what you can and cannot actually write off, because that's a tricky line, right? Like it's
On purpose.
Oh, it is. Oh,
On purpose.
I know it is. And bro, that's all it is. It's all a game, right? Like, and the problem is the rules keep changing.
I like that though.
Well,
Keeps it fresh.
You know, it keeps it fresh, but like, as soon as you learn the rules, it's like, damn, now you're gonna give me some more rules.
Yeah, maybe.
I just
Vote red next election.
I
They
just
won't
got-
change.
Vote red or blue this election, brother.
Really?
So no, I voted for Jill Stein.
Well, you know,
I didn't like either.
no,
So,
no such thing as a wasted vote.
bro,
No, the reason I say that is because it's the consistency. Like,
Yeah.
if you voted blue and you vote blue again, let's say they win,
Yeah.
you'll be more consistent.
Yeah.
If you go blue from red, consistency. If you go from red from blue, once again, more inconsistency. What is the market like? Consistency.
Yeah, that's true. But I've actually had conversations with some of my like, you know, wealthier friends, and they're like, "Bro, why are you not a Republican?" They're like, I say all the time, it's like, I'm not anything, right? Like I'm
That's the right
like
answer.
I'm neither. I selfishly, I mean, like whoever's gonna benefit me the most, like that's who I'm liking. Like, and I know, like, fiscally, financially, I know it benefits, right? But like, I don't necessarily agree with everything, right? And blue wise, I just don't know that I necessarily want to be blue. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like I still want my money. You know, like I work really hard. You know,
I always make the argument that if my streets were well paved and my schools were well funded and my police weren't, you know, fucking serving me more than they're protecting me,
yeah,
I'd be fine with paying more taxes.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I say this all the time. I am willing to have the conversation with any liberal more when they're willing to have the conversation of where my tax dollars are going.
yeah,
When we are talking about like, okay, you want to tax me an extra 10%? Okay, that's fine. So I'm already at like the 34% tax bracket.
Yeah.
Okay. Do with that information what you will.
yeah,
My effective tax rate is 34%.
Yeah.
What does that tell me? Out of 12 months out of the year, I'm for the fucking government.
yeah, yeah,
3 months out of the fucking year,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
yeah,
You want to make that 4 months out of the year, or even 4.5 months out of the year. Explain to me the value, the cost benefit analysis for me. And if you can't articulate that,
Then why would I sign up for
then,
that?
No, me for not, you know, succumbing to that mindset.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, I vote not because of like fiscal responsibility or social liberalness. I vote in the presence of like what I think will be the most conducive to the longevity of America.
Yeah.
Like what will benefit me the most. I'm fine. Wayne, I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah,
My family's gonna be fine. The only thing that we're arguing now is like how many millions,
Yeah.
right? But then it's like, I do think that we have to have this conversation of patriotism.
yeah,
I do. I love America, even though America makes it hard to love it. America. And the abundance that I have, the education that I've received, the overwhelming prosperity that I've grown accustomed to is a direct reflection of it. And I want to see it prosper and continue.
yeah,
I don't want to take the ladder up from underneath me. So that comment of like, whoever will give me more is who I vote for. I don't vote for that. I'll tell you who I vote for. I vote for whoever has the most coherent long-term plan.
Okay.
I don't, you know what? You want to know who I'd vote for next? The politician that tells me you are owed nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to nothing.
Yeah.
You're going to pay higher taxes, Ariane. But those taxes are going to go to finally fixing the schools and finally fixing the VA and finally fixing Medicare and Medicaid and actually closing the border and fixing all the problems that we deal with every day. I'll pay 50% taxes for that.
So you don't. So in terms of, I'm trying to think about what I was about to say.
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. So all right. So versus being taxed, right? Because I think about this, right? Like I am going to get to the point. Not even want to. I'm going to get to the point where
Shut up.
like it's not about like
Welcome to the top.
where I get to kind of allocate where my money goes.
Yes.
Right? Versus like taxes, like I have to get to the point where like I get to donate, right? So now I pick and choose where
what if I
my
were to
money
present
goes.
to you a different argument? That the tax dollars that you spend, if they were spent accordingly,
Then that would be fantastic.
judiciously, you wouldn't have to donate. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think the variable is accountability.
Yeah.
I will have the conversation of taxing me more willing to have the conversation of where my tax dollars go. I pay a 1% city tax and I pay like an 8% state tax. I get zero value out of that.
Yeah.
I got to dodge potholes on my way to work. When I go to Wash Ave, I got to be strapped because I don't fucking believe in the cops.
Yeah.
When there's no value from my state or city tax.
Yeah.
So I give 9% of my tax dollars. And 9% of my tax dollars, Wayne, are more than the average American makes.
For sure.
Okay?
For
So
sure.
sorry for retrospect.
Yeah.
Whatever you make in a year gross, I pay in city and state taxes net. What I'm saying is, I'm fine with that money if I didn't have to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like they have to take their kids to private school.
Yeah.
I want public school to be good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want them to feel like they can't walk safe at night.
Yeah.
I want them to feel safe.
Yeah.
I don't want the city to be a cesspool. I want the city to be, I want them to be protected. I want investment to come into St. Louis. St. Louis is on the precipice of the possible greatest investment in American infrastructure in the last 50 years if we just got our shit together. Because the coasts are getting too expensive, but we just can't get our shit together because we got a liberal mayor. I'm not opposed to paying taxes because I do feel a fundamental patriotic oath to giving back to what's given to me. However,
I'm not giving.
if I have an alcoholic friend and I say, hey, here's $10, don't spend it on beer, and they spend it on beer, is it my alcoholic friend's fault or is it my fault? Taxes.
Okay.
I'm telling these drunk alcoholics, don't misuse my money.
Yeah.
Why would they not misuse my money? That's all they know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm willing to have the conversation of taxing me more when you're willing to have a conversation about fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to have that conversation, suck dick.
Embezzlement's way too.
It's not even about
prominent
embezzlement.
here. I'm just saying, it's way too.
It's not even about
prominent,
embezzlement
though,
because they could do it in a legal way. I could do a non-for-profit, call it Wayne's Foundation, and talk about our job is to feed the homeless in St. Louis. Get a government funding of $200 million, and then literally $1 million worth of baby oil and JO for the whole year. That's what's happening in California. That's what's happening in Minnesota. You got Somalians buying mansions and calling their residential properties a home healthcare system or a daycare system and getting government funding. I'm not being. I'm really not trying to be oh, Arion's being too much. No, literally Google this.
Yeah.
Literally Google this. Huh. This is within the system. By the way, I hate to say this. If I was so inclined, I have the money to buy a house in Minnesota, and if I was so inclined, I have a lawyer to do these things if I wanted to. The only thing preventing me, Wayne, is my conscience.
Yeah.
I could do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I could make way more fucking money.
Well,
but it's not sustainable. This is, at the end of the day,
it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable to the country.
It is not.
So you said something. Once again, I disagree with, but when you said when I vote for the person that's going to kind of give me the most. That's not why I vote. I vote for the message that I think is the most truly, even at my own expense, the most logical for the longevity of the American empire / state, because America.
Yeah.
Then there's a country mile of shit, and then there's whatever the bathwater you flush, and then number 2.
So I said
not even close, guys.
I should vote for the person that benefits me most. What I'm saying is I didn't do that though, right? That's what I was saying.
Trump would have benefited you the most.
Sure, there's no question about it, but optically for the rest of the world, I wasn't a fan of optically what it looks like. And same thing with Kamala Harris. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. So because I am and we didn't get the right to vote until 1964, you know what I'm saying? I owe it to vote, right? There are way too many people who died that look exactly like me, in my opinion.
No, I agree 100%.
So
I agree. Wayne, what you just said is 1,000% factual.
So
there's been an entire generations of Americans that foregone their life for the right for you to vote, for the right for women to vote, for the right of, sorry to say this, guys, white men that don't own land to vote.
Yeah.
So yes, it is your not patriotic duty, but your civic duty.
It
to
is.
vote.
So
I agree with that.
So that's why for Jill Stein. Like I said, I didn't know her, like, her beliefs, what she thought, but what I knew is
Middle of the road.
The two people that they were putting forth that were actually going to be the ones. I don't particularly care for either. So, you know what? I have to go. I have to pick somebody. So this, I'm not going to write in like Dave Chappelle or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
How many votes did Harambe get in the 2016 election?
Probably a ton.
It's like
I think
it's
like
like 40,000
Yeah,
Americans.
he got a good amount.
40,000 grown-ass men and women voted for a dead gorilla in 2016.
So, like...
By the way, they have to choose that.
Yeah. So
the power of Reddit is real.
That's how I feel about that. You know, like, it's... Like I said, I don't begrudge anybody who votes either way. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, because it's something that I kind of dwell with. That I bitch the most about America, I have received the most prosperity. So, like, from 2020 on, because of COVID...
1,100 people.
1,100 people. Okay. Oh, that's not nearly as many as I thought it was.
It's still more than you would expect.
So 1,100 grown-ass adults over the age of 18 and registered to vote voted for a dead gorilla in 2016.
That is awesome.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. God bless you guys. Unsung heroes. Rest in peace, Harambe. But anyway, we were talking... COVID is a weird time for me specifically, because while I can associate myself and understand the price society paid, Wayne, my earnings logarithmically increased.
Yeah.
Not 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. That's linear. I'm talking about exponential growth, right? 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. That's my growth pattern. And there is a part like, I'm so lucky to live in the time that I am, and so unlucky at the same time.
Yeah.
Let me hear from you, because you also have your businesses that you run. In that time, you've seen success as well.
Yes.
Think of these last 5 years. Do you think yourself lucky? Do you think yourself like, I made the most out of opportunities? Do you think to yourself like, I did good, but oh my God, the rest of everybody? What are your thoughts about the last half decade?
I think that I made the best of an opportunity. So it was COVID kind of, to me, was a refresh, right? I feel like a lot of people had an opportunity to start from scratch, right? So many people did work.
Or change.
All of those things, you know?
So like instead of zag.
So like when that type of opportunity presents itself, like it's all right, it's like, so do I want to change, right? Or do I want to go back to the status quo, right? And there's just opportunities to just like for growth, right? So I looked at like how I ended up having a commercial cleaning company, right? I looked at the fact that it was pandemic proof. It's pandemic proof. Like, those are still a subsect of people every day when no one else was allowed to go to work, right? We're never getting stimmies again. I don't care what happens in this world. There are never going to be stimmies again.
Never.
They're never.
Never say never. Never say never. It's the single greatest mistake Trump can make outside of the monkey meme that he's posted today.
They're not any more free money like that. Like I don't see it happen. I don't see it happening.
Wayne, I disagree.
Not to
they
that.
give out free money every fucking day, just not to you and me.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to that extent. They're not giving it out like that to that extent. Again.
It's not even at that extent. Like, the stimulus package that we gave out to normal people, over the course of a year pandemic, guys, call a spade a spade. You want to know what impacted the deficit more? The PPP loans. The loans for businesses dug a deeper hole than the $1,600 they paid, or whatever the fuck they paid to people. I don't even remember the stimulus. That's how impactful it was.
I don't remember how much it was.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't remember how much it was.
It's such a stupid, minute point. Like, forgive me. I don't want to go down another rabbit hole. You're in the middle talking about your commercial cleaning company during the time of COVID.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, spade,
Yeah.
the impact of 1,200 then 1,400. Sorry, so 2,600 in total. Over the course of what, a year and a half?
Yes, plus another 6.
You gave someone $2,600 when the median rent in the city of St. Louis, which is a cheaper city to live in, between $1,300 and $1,500 a month. So in a year and a half, you gave people a month and a half of rent.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Another 600 kids.
Well, there's 600 kids. 2 months worth of rent at tops.
But I don't-
Congratulations, federal government, for your relief.
But I don't think.
And in the
strictly the
meantime, what did
stimmies,
you
though.
do? You systematically shut down the world economy for 2 years.
A long time.
2 years.
A long time.
You shut down education, which will have ripple effects. You shut down the supply
So
chain, which will have ripple effects. You created an environment of anxiety, fear, and for the next 2 years. We're still systematically like leaving COVID. And I would make the argument that like there's no one I feel the worst for than the young kids. If you were like the last 2 years of college or the last 2 years of high school, you were literally robbed. And I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can say.
Oh, I mean, so like Victoria was going to like continue getting more degrees, but like she was teaching herself. And when you get to a certain,
Because she was doing like online
because
courses.
you couldn't go to class. So like and the professors were like half-assing their job.
Yeah.
They're-
So then you're going to YouTube.
or like they'd be like, well, this is the assignment, but like you have to teach yourself all of it. Like they weren't like giving out like true, I guess, like classes or curriculum or syllabuses or any of that. Like it was, all right, this is what you have to do. Go do it. It's like, fam, I am in like CPA classes. You think I can do this shit? I wouldn't.
Not just that.
If I could do it by myself.
Wait,
like,
not just that. You're paying
yes.
for CPA
Also
classes.
that. So it's like that was a very interesting time in the history of America.
How do you tell
like,
kids in going to out-of-state universities that are paying out-of-state college fees, and you're telling them like you have to go learn from home, and we're going to do Zoom calls and all that other stuff, but we're going to maintain all these fees and expenditures? It makes literally no fucking sense.
makes zero sense.
Missouri, you want to go to the Illinois State or whatever, we're going to have to pay out-of-state tuition.
Yeah.
But you have to learn from your home because of the pandemic.
Yep.
Wouldn't it make at least a little bit of sense to like waive that out-of-state cost? Go fuck yourself.
Just make it
Wayne.
in state.
Go what? No, no. Go
treat-
fuck yourself,
Yeah.
Wayne. Here's
Yeah.
our cost. I think education's broken. I think healthcare is broken. I think
they're all too much of a business.
I think even real estate is broken. I think that whenever the government gets involved in the open market, it gets broken. Outside of one thing, the government's job is to regulate and be a referee, not subsidize.
Okay.
When the government gets involved in subsidizing, they are inadvertently creating an economy where it doesn't exist.
I agree with that. I can agree with that for sure.
By the way,
I also
you don't have
think
to,
that
you don't have to
education-
agree with me. This is like there's a graph right now that's like circulating social media. That's like this graph where it's like there is wherever the government gets involved, school, education, healthcare, housing, or whatever.
It declines.
There's like this graph of like increased cost, and then there's like this same graph like all these industries where the government doesn't get involved, where costs directly sharpen because these people have to operate in the realm of true commerce, true capitalism, where like we're fighting and striving for the next inch that we can turn into a mile. So it's like, oh, you're offering the same service or good that I am. Well, then what I'm going to do is profit margin so I can get ahead of you. And that's like the product of capitalism and competition. It's the reason capitalism works is because there's a historical effect to it. Now,
So would you argue that we don't have true capitalism here?
we have a mixed economy.
Yeah.
We've
I would say
always
so.
had a mixed
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah.
And I think that is the better thing from capitalism. Like, refer to what I said, that the government's role is to be a referee, not to choose the economy. So like the when the legislature gets involved in mergers and acquisitions, when Congress gets involved in terms of enacting prevents like a certain industries from an oligopoly or monopoly, this stuff makes sense because what you're really doing is you're saying we're just gonna be the referee, and this doesn't seem fair. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Netflix is trying to buy Warner Brothers, their IP, and dude, yeah, not that I
Did
not,
that go through and then get
well,
like?
they're in congressional hearings right
Okay.
now, but we'll see. Depending on the lobbyists, depending on a lot of factors. Yeah, depending on a lot of factors, we'll see is what I'm
Okay.
going to go with that. But the main aggregation of power and influence and wealth, and it's just counterintuitive to capitalism. So if you have pure communism, it will eradicate itself because then people will be like desensitized and what's the word from like incentive, like de-incentivized, de-incentivized to do anything. Like why would I do everything, right? So it's like there's no reason to work hard. Simultaneously, by pure capitalistic standards, you will inevitably get to the top player who will become the monopoly, and you'll like have an Ouroboros who eats itself.
For sure.
So the government's role is to step in and, for the sake of argument, for the sake of competition, we need to get involved. We're not going to tell you that there's a price floor or a price max. We're not going to tell you that you can do this or can do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to prevent mergers and acquisitions. We're going to create legislation that protects the consumer. We're going to create agencies whose whole job is to make sure that what you're doing is legal, like the FDA, for instance, the Food and Drug Administration. That's what government's role is, to create the referee at the basketball game to make sure everybody's dribbling, to make sure every three-point shot makes sense. Foul, someone's there to call it. That's government's job. But when government comes in and starts saying, no, this team is going to start with 36 points, you have 0, go ahead. That's when it becomes skewed.
For sure.
That's when it becomes unfair. So what I'm saying is we have a mixed economy for a reason because we realize that capitalism is what's the human condition, but capitalism left to itself will inevitably lead to a monopoly.
Turn to India.
So we will understand that and we'll kind of incorporate that and say, hey, listen, we're going to create guidelines, we're going to create rules, we're going to create legislation, de-incentivize, to make sure that everybody plays by a certain set of rules, but we will let the strong thrive and the weak die. That's the problem. If you look at the last 25 years, the strong have been able to consolidate power, mergers and acquisition, M&A. They've been able to outsource research and development to small startups, and when they have great ideas, they can just buy them out for pennies on the dollar. And then when the government gets involved, you say, hey, big brother. But then if the financial sector in 2008 legislation that Bill Clinton wanted to pass it, here's the thing. Here's the dark truth about the Jeffrey Epstein. What's that one guy? The interview guy that interviewed him. Bannon, the ugly truth of what he said in that interview is true. Pass legislation and strive for legislation to get everybody a house, which created the financial the bubble in 2008. I hate to say this, but the pedophile was right. So what I'm trying to say is when the government oversteps, they can create a bubble. And when the government doesn't enact enough, they can create a bubble. His job is so difficult. You have to be in there enough to be the referee.
Have a perfect balance.
You ever been in a wrestling match where the referee like takes over and you're like, oh my God, this is so annoying? But have you ever been in a wrestling match where like you're stalling and nothing's getting called, and that's also annoying? You need someone who is in the rules but will also let the wrestlers wrestle. That's what you need, and that's so fucking hard. That's why I don't believe in term limits. Number one reason. Because I believe that if someone's good at that job, let them do it till the day they die. I do believe in that.
I feel like that's a tricky thing.
I'll tell you why you're wrong. You want to know why you're wrong?
Why?
Because you have a two-party system, and if you want to do term limits, you give more power to the two parties. Because when Wayne does his 8 years, they'll make sure that there's someone else ready to take Wayne's spot, and it'll always be a circulating, like a rotator thing of the candidates that will align with the party system. Go ahead, turn on your mic and say it. Sorry.
All good. Yeah, no problem.
It's just like, imagine, like, well, think about Russia. Like, what will happen with
That's an oligarchy, and I would even say like a pseudo dictatorship.
But still, if you have no term limits, what? There's going to be a power vacuum.
I didn't say that about. I said that about the legislative branch.
Okay.
Remember, there's 3 branches of government. Let's do a basic civics course. What is the 3 branches of government and their responsibilities? The executive branch does what? They execute the laws that are bestowed upon them. What is the legislature's job? To create laws. They enact laws. The legislator comes together and they say, hey, this new bill, whatever, the Wayne Act, will do this law. What is the judicial system's job?
They don't have term limits.
Once again, but what is their job? And express the laws. So there's a direct correlation to power and term limits, right? So the judicial system, which has no power in executing the laws or creating them, have no term limits. Sounds good to me. They're basically like the referee. They should be able to do it as long as they can. Now, the problem that we're all going to get to is that they're compromised and that there's a lot of like local judicial, there's state level and city level judges that I could clearly say are compromised. But at the state level and all these other things, I mean, we have a conservative Supreme Court that's looking like it's most likely going to turn down these tariff policies of Trump. It's a conservative Supreme Court. I would say that is the system working. I would even say that our reflection of COVID and our reaction to is the system working. Because you actively wanted to censor, to subvert the rights and liberties of people, and though it took the Supreme Court time, they were revoked. Biden did an executive order to mandate the vaccine, and before the end date, the Supreme Court said that was unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So, like, is it? No. Is it timely? No. But is it the best form of government that has ever existed in the face of this planet? Yes.
It is. I mean,
without question.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Like, even
Would
with
you want to
all
live
our
in Russia or
complaints,
China?
I'm
No.
saying with all the complaints that we have, like, I still pick being here.
Yes.
Like every hour of every minute of every second.
I hate to be. I hate to say. Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of flack of this. Wayne, what if I were to tell you, and I was in Europe recently, what if I were to tell you that being black in America is actually the best place to be black?
I would not be shocked by that.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked.
What if I were to say first-generation immigrant in America is actually the best place to be a first-generation immigrant? You want to talk about racism? You want to talk about like Islamophobia and all these other things? Go to Europe.
Hey, I can
Go
imagine.
to China. Go to Russia.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. Have fun going to those countries or those provinces or those states or whatever, and then being like, hey, your norms and regulations. Have fun with that.
Yeah. No, zero desire. to go to
America
either of those
suffers
places
from
you're
its
just saying.
success.
Yo, for sure. For sure. So, but also,
But there's no other place I'd rather be.
not one, not one. Like,
Listen, I would rather stand by a black man that calls me racist than a white thinks that I should give more power to the government.
yeah.
Because I can sway the judgment of that black man. I can't sway the judgment of that retard. I'm gonna have to blur that retard
Right,
quote.
you gotta
Now
change
two of
that
them.
one out, right?
That's like a hard R.
That's a different hard
That's
R?
a different. The hard R at the beginning is a no in YouTube, which makes me like we had a whole fucking conversation about race relations and everything that we couldn't use.
Yeah.
And that fucking saddens me because a 2.5-hour podcast that we didn't air. And let me ask you this.
That wasn't even part of why. That wasn't even supposed to be what we talked about either, if I remember. It just happened.
It's the natural progression of the conversation.
It just happened.
Let me ask you, before I ask you the race, back to the entrepreneur question.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously are an employer and an employee,
Yeah.
right? You operate both hats.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult is that to do? Because on one frame, you are the dictator.
Mm-hmm.
You can issue, hey, we don't want to do business with this client. with this client, you have the responsibility, but you also have employees that you have to pay out.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, you are an employer where you're collecting the paycheck and you're having to do the whims and wishes of an employer. How do you balance that, man?
It's just work. Done. Like it's like I said, like it's at the end, I would have to work regardless. Like we spoke about before. So like, if I'm gonna have to work, I'm a hard worker. I'm gonna do a good job, no matter what it is that I do. First and foremost, I commend everybody who can sit hours a day and just be in one spot. Like that is something I learned very early for myself. That is not something I'm capable of doing. I am not capable of sitting down behind a computer for hours upon hour for 40 hours a week. There is no way. I've tried. It does not work for me. It does not work for me.
Doesn't mean it's hard though.
I didn't say. No, I'm not saying it's. It might be the easiest route, right?
For
It
some
is
people.
definitely but for me, that is extremely difficult, right? So like, just go out and work, talk to people. I walk around and shoot the shit. I work a little bit, I shoot the shit, I go to the next. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not hard. It's not difficult. Like it's really rudimentary. Like it's
Let me ask you another question. You know that you are an entrepreneur?
Yeah. They know.
How did they
They know
feel
I
about
own a
it?
business. I go in and
Do they even say anything about it?
what? That I own a company and work? No. Not at all. But
Shout out to your employer.
What I will say is it is difficult to be the person working an account and then bringing in an employee after me, right? Because like it's a result-based business, right? Like it's there's a job to do. The job has to be done, right? To me, I think like it's the same thing every time, essentially, right?
No one's gonna do it like you.
Exactly, and that's
your baby.
and that is the difficult part more than anything else. So like new accounts, I no longer work new accounts, because unfortunately, I don't want them to get used to me doing it. Like as bad as that may sound,
It's unattainable.
huh?
It's unattainable.
And also for me to reach the level of success that I want to do the job.
That's what I mean by unattainable. It's like, how many hours are in the day?
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
How many clients could you reasonably have if you have to handle them? It's not feasible.
Not enough, right?
20 at most, and you're only sleeping 4.
Yeah.
And you're divorced and you don't have kids.
Right?
know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, for sure. What I've actually started doing as far as getting employees, I actually hire felons a lot now.
Really?
Yeah, I do. All right.
Because they're so grateful for the opportunity?
that, and so it's
That is wild. I've, in an entrepreneurial sense, say that.
so. All right. So, but the thing is, there are also guidelines to the type of felon I'm going to hire, obviously, right? But all right, selfishly, you get tax credits for if you employ a felon for the first year of them being released, you get a tax credit. Every last one of them.
By the way, this is something that I think the government should do. Tax incentives are the best way to kind of be the referee.
And that's one of the reasons I looked into it, but also with a large population of, inmates being
Incarcerated and left free.
And a decent look like
American.
me. I also view it as a way of giving back to my people in my community.
Mentorship?
Yeah. I mean, if that's what they want, if that's what they need.
Is that what they want?
Your
interactions with them, how is that?
Oh, it's always great. Yeah. Always respectful. Everybody works.
They're just grateful for a job and a purpose.
And also I viewed it as in I'm giving you an opportunity to work without looking over your shoulder.
Because you give them autonomy?
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not going with you to an account. I'm not gonna sit here and watch over you.
It's a lot of trust, brother.
Like I can't not have it, right? If I don't have it, then I'm in a predicament you said, right? I can't cover all of this, right? And if it doesn't work out with this person, guess what? People get fired every day. People look
Are
for
you
new
quick
jobs
to
every
hire,
day.
quick to fire?
I am less more quick to fire now than I was at first.
Gotcha.
A lot of that is because I've done it longer now.
You've
I've
heard a lot of the bullshit.
and I understand the business employee side of it more, right? An employee will, I don't feel like coming to work today, so I'm not. I'm calling in. I got to go do it, right? Oh, I got another opportunity. I just quit right now and today, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like I've actually gained more of an appreciation for corporations, and understanding their
System.
I want to say yes. So I want to say selfishness, but that's not necessarily what it is. But it's
A code.
I
It's a
have
code.
to I have to look out for my best interest, just
If
like
we
my
fire
employers
you,
will.
we'll give you a heads up of today.
Yeah,
But if you want to leave, give us a 2-week notice. Or
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just that was a difficult thing to really get used to, because it's like, bro, it's like I pay more than like
I hate firing people. I'm not good at it.
I don't like it. I
I'm
don't
not
like
good
it,
at it.
but I had to accept it.
Agree.
You know?
The weakest part of me as an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah.
It's not hiring people. I actually hire pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like word of mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Firing people is my Achilles heel.
Yeah, that is a hard
Because
part.
I think to myself, I could teach them how to do this.
Yeah.
I could teach them how to do this. It just takes time. It takes effort. But sometimes I need to realize this is not worth, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Listen to that, employers or employees. Like, I want to be careful how I say this because I'm going to get so much flack. There's a lot of people that just think they deserve. I hate that word. You deserve. You will get nothing. It's not entitlement. It's like, it's worse than entitlement, because entitlement is like, I am this, therefore I get that. Like these people that think they deserve something is like, I'm here, give me this.
Yeah.
It's even worse because they did the bare minimum, but they want the maximum. Like a 2% raise year over year because they did the minimum. They're like, what do you mean? I met expectations. Anyway, if you are an individual who is employed, and sit back and ask yourself a cold, hard question. Would I hire me? Would I want to manage me?
Yeah.
Am I manageable? Do I deserve raises? Do I exemplify characteristics of a manager? Should I receive bonuses? Should I receive praise? Work speak for itself. If the answer to these questions are no, there's probably a correlation between where you are in life and your outcome. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't expect to be given things.
No.
You can't expect. No one's owed anything.
Here's the other thing. Here's the hard truth. You could do everything right and still not get it.
You sure can.
Because you want to know what you don't know? There might be 5 other motherfuckers that are doing the exact same thing you're doing better than you.
Yeah.
And you might be exceeding expectations. If they want a 5 and you're given a 6, that doesn't mean someone else isn't given a 7.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean someone else did more than you.
And
they're going to reap those rewards.
Yeah, which makes them, unfortunately, more valuable.
They are, without
It
question.
makes them more valuable.
By literally dictionary definition.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really what it's like with like the employer, like.
But then you go and work at you still manage the restaurant, right?
No, I do not do that anymore. I actually stopped doing that.
So then what is the employee aspect for yourself?
Like going and doing the job. Because, I mean, I work for myself. Like, I actually...
Oh, so you exclusively work for yourself now.
Yeah.
But sometimes you will outsource individual, and sometimes you'll do it yourself.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll do it, but, like I also have employees that do it.
Yeah.
But...
Trust me, I know that.
Yeah. So...
I'm here with you, brother.
Right. But it's like, you know, like, I enjoy understanding, right? Like I know that there is a threshold or a dollar amount that I get to, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore, right?
I don't think that's the case, Wayne.
See, and I was going to say, but like that number is going to have to be astronomical.
Then
Because I, like we talked about before, I still need to understand what it's like to eat shit, because I need to be able to understand I want to be able to understand my employees' plight, right?
No, it's not that. You want of quality. So let's say a client comes in, $100,000 a year, one client.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go work that yourself, and you're gonna bring 3 or 4 guys with you and be like, listen, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Watch me today.
Yeah.
This is how you're gonna fucking do this.
This is how you have to do it. This is how you have to do it.
So what I'm trying to say is like,
non-negotiable too.
maybe it's 10,000, maybe it's 50,000, maybe it's $1 million.
Yeah.
Whatever your threshold is, the money is irrespective of the thought process of this is a big fish for us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how to do this. And then you will reciprocate and you will regurgitate what I show you.
Yeah.
To nauseum.
And also, and the thing that goes with that, it's like I pay well for what like people are doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to clean buildings. Like
it's frustrating, isn't it, when people don't take advantage of that?
It's like, do you know like how much I'm paying you to walk around with your headphones and not talk to people?
Yeah.
Like I'm not asking you to do this. Do
you pay them by the hour or by the job?
So I pay. So I know how long it takes to do every single job because I'll.
So by the hour, but
it's by the job, right?
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day,
they should take 4 hours. If it takes 8, you suck.
I'm not paying you for 8.
Yeah.
But at the same token, if it takes 4 and you get it done in 2.5,
I still pay you 4.
I still pay you 4. Right?
That's the right way to do it.
You know, but like I said, also I know how long it takes me to do. I actually give grace. So say it takes me 3 hours, I'll make it 4 hours.
You're a great employer
because I know like I'm conscious of the fact that like you're not gonna do what I'm gonna do, like and I'm aware of that. I know you're not gonna do the job, so it's like I'm gonna give you the grace of having the extra hour to do it all properly, right? So
you acknowledge that which you know. You know that no one will treat your baby like you do.
No, I'm aware.
So you're gonna have to pay a premium for someone to do and put effort into your baby.
Yeah.
Just like you would want them to do for yours. If someone wanted you to pay you to do a job that you're not inclined to because it doesn't direct, they're gonna have to pay a premium.
Yeah.
Like what I'm willing to do for myself is lesser value than what I'm willing to do for someone else.
Yeah.
Because I know that someone else will get the benefits of my labor.
Mm-hmm.
There's an inherent premium to that.
For sure.
And you're building that in when you say like, I pay them hourly, but if it takes them 8 hours and it should that. No. But if it takes them 2 hours and I'll pay them 4 because that's what I think it should be.
Yeah.
That's the inherent grace. That's the calculus you're doing in your head. Yeah. And what I'm saying is most employers don't do that. Most employers will not do that. What they'll do is they'll let them work that 8-hour shift. They'll let them clock in that 8-hour shift, and they're going to fire them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, no way.
Yeah. But guess what, Ariane? I don't want to do it forever, brother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to not. You know what I want to. What'd you do today? I got up. I did some office work at home real quick, and went and talked to somebody else and told them to go check in. I didn't even. I know that like you can't start there. You have to get there, right? So, and that requires. It also requires people who believe in you, right? And like people who feel like you treat them like they're worth it, right? So, biggest thing,
implying what leadership characteristics as an employer.
I think so.
I agree.
I think so. So
I work exclusively for someone that I admire.
Yeah.
And I will never work for anybody that I don't.
Yeah. So like, I'll use like, so one of the gentlemen I've had the longest that's a felon, like, he got a different job, but he still like works for me. And then like, he'll talk to me. He'll be like, man, like no matter what you need, he's like, I'll do whatever I can for you for as long as I can for you. He's like, first and foremost, you gave me an opportunity when no one else was willing to give me opportunities, you know? And also that's what to me, I think as an employer, that's what you want, right? You want people who appreciate the opportunity. It's like like I'm willing to, like you said, pay you a premium for what you're doing. Like, don't take advantage of that. Don't like.
Do not take advantage of me.
Exactly. So like that gentleman, I nothing but love for that guy. Jermaine's really great guy, man. Like,
Shout out Jermaine.
yeah, really great guy.
He gets it.
Yeah, he does. So, and I've had plenty of employees who don't get it. Like it's
But it works.
like,
And I'm sure that if Jermaine exemplified characteristics and built some capital and then maybe started doing something himself, then he referenced you and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, that, or the other. I'm sure you'd sit on a phone call and impart wisdom to him.
we've had conversations.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, that it's the dumbest fucking quote, but I love it the most. Quote of like real recognize real.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid, but it's also so on its face accurate.
Yeah.
That when I've met people that have mentored me that are much wealthier, much older, much wiser than me, but they see something in me. And I know what they're doing. It's the same thing. I see a value in them, and I know I'm going to invest in this person because they're going to become something. And I hope that when they become something, I can benefit from that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I used to think that there was something wrong with that, but I don't fucking believe that anymore. Like, I don't believe there's altruism in business. I think what people do in business is they do as they would want to do right by themselves. Anything extra is an investment.
For sure.
And that investment entails I want to pay off.
Yeah.
If I pay you one, I want two at some point in time.
Yeah.
I might not get two because an investment is not guaranteed.
No.
Maybe I put a bunch of time into Wayne and Wayne tells me to go fuck myself. That was a bad investment by me.
Yeah.
But Wayne doesn't own me. Maybe Wayne gets a lot from me. I mentor Wayne. I teach Wayne. I show Wayne. And then when Wayne gets to the point where he's on his own, he's like, hey, there's some room for us to do business together. Now I benefited from Wayne.
We've had those conversations. He actually, and the thing is, he brought that up.
As he should.
He brought.
God bless Jermaine.
So like,
good for you, man.
And like I said, like that's why, like you say, everything's about opportunities, right? Like, one bad decision doesn't make you a bad person, so to speak.
Depends on the decision.
I said so to speak. I mean, there are exceptions.
In retrospect, we're going through the Epstein files right now, so perhaps I'm a little skewed on this judgment. There are things that are heinous.
Those are a lot of bad decisions right there. Those are multiple bad decisions.
Listen, I stole a TV is different from I want a cheese pizza.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I said,
cheese pizza? Cheese pizza?
Anyone else hungry?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is yes.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, but.
B-U-T-T, but. Jermaine's like, yo, relax.
Right? Man. But like, no, man, it's rewarding in so many ways.
I think there's so many ways we can go on this conversation about like, the criminal justice system, about how we are more, served. We could even talk about like the whole like, being a convicted felon versus, a misdemeanor or something like that and what that threshold is. Once again, like when I talk to you about like, I'm willing to have the conversation about being taxed more when people are willing to have the conversation about fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm conversation about, the police, I want to be careful how I word this. The correlation between law enforcement and minority communities. So what we consider to be a misdemeanor versus a felony charge.
Yeah.
I do agree with you that, I think when laws are broken, I think that we need to take age into consideration. I also think that we need to take circumstances into consideration.
I agree.
And I also think we need to take volume into consideration. You're a 13-time offender.
Exactly.
You're 19 years old. You got some girl pregnant and you're stealing because you're just trying to figure shit out. Forgive me if I have some compassion.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, is it a violent? Is it a non-violent? You know what I mean?
See, I'm anti the violent.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this is where we get into the three forms of government, like the judicial system and all these other things. I think there are some things that require the human eye, the human touch, and I think requires a little bit more compassion, especially when you have a generation of kids that were incarcerated because of marijuana.
Yeah.
And now you're talking like a recreational drug, not even medicinal anymore. I would go as far as to say that like the laws should extend to those that are convicted.
Yeah.
If you were incarcerated and now are a convicted felon because of a marijuana charge for whatever capacity, I know there's like circumstances, high level guys, bear with me. Now pass a law in this state to recreationalize it. I think whatever strike you have needs to be waived.
Be expunged.
To an extent, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're like a truckload of weed,
Yeah.
sorry, brother.
Yeah.
You know, you're pushing too much. But if you got a couple ounces, you were a dealer under.
Yeah.
Did you have a gun on you? Did you threaten anybody?
Yeah.
Like these are the questions I'm gonna start asking. Oh, you didn't? You were
Yeah.
just selling some weed to some college kid? Don't worry about it.
And so, like, I don't mind that. Like, a gun possession charge, I'm fine with that. As long as it's nonviolent. I carry my gun regularly all the time.
Is it legal or not?
Hell yeah, my gun's
That's
legal.
the problem.
Yeah.
These are illegal firearms.
Yeah, I don't
these
got
are
time for that shit.
But hold up though, illegal firearms. So that's the thing is like the potential for violence is a direct correlation to your ability to be violent. There's nothing more potential for violence than having a gun. Now, if you have a gun, like let's say you have like selling weed, yeah, of course I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
You broke a law, but you didn't break all the laws.
Yeah.
But if you have an unregistered firearm, you bought it on the black market, and you're selling weed, I'm sorry, dude. You can even make the argument that like I only had it for self-defense. I'm with you, I get it, but you went through all the and now you're propagating the underground economy.
Yeah.
This is the same thing I feel about the deportations. Like, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. If you want to deport immigrants, go to the companies.
Yeah.
Go to the companies, because here's what's gonna happen. If you prevent companies from hiring illegal immigrants, it'll force them to either deport or go into the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
And if they go into the criminal justice system, when you arrest them, deport them.
Yeah.
It's one of two ways. You don't need to go through the streets and find illegal immigrants. Just go to the sources. They need to work. They need to make.
You know,
if they can't work, they'll make money.
the only thing.
And by the way, I would say just have a clear and concise border.
Yeah.
Don't allow for these people to come in here and be taken advantage of and all these other things. You know what I mean?
But aren't we a country of immigrants, though?
Yeah, but not illegal immigrants. That's like this. I'm gonna hate what I say about this. There are two constants in the world that need to be taken into consideration simultaneously. Might does make right, okay? And laws have to be observed.
For sure.
So, no one is illegal on stolen land. Suck my dick. We beat your ancestors. It's our land now. Sorry. There's a reason why Albania didn't extend to Greece and Italy and all that stuff, because we couldn't. Because if they wanted to, they could have.
Yeah.
So America won.
Yeah.
Let's lay that on the table right now.
For sure.
If you guys wanted that land more, you would have won.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Now it makes right in the sense of like gross negligence or violence.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we should like kill people. I believe that we should deport them, right? But then you have to think, okay, we've acquired this land through strength. We now have to defend it. Every quote is correct when you say that if you cannot defend and absolve and distinctly create your borders, then you're not a state. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So sorry. I came here legally. My parents came here legally.
Yeah.
We could have come here illegally if we wanted to come here legally,
Yeah.
which took us an extra 3 years.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah.
So
You did it the right way. Long story
whoever by the metrics of what right is today, yes.
You did it the lawful way.
Yeah. We got
lawful
the immigration lottery of Albania. We went to Greece. We lived in Greece for 3 years. Got our come here to America. When we came to America with a green card, we started the citizenship process, and I got my citizenship when I was 13.
Okay.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah.
They did do it the right way.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying, by the way, that if you've been here for 20 years and you've been paying taxes and stuff like that, you shouldn't be a citizen. It's not I am saying is if you come in the last 10 years, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And also, it sounds like you're saying, if you're gonna come the right way.
There is I am willing to have, just like I'm willing to have the conversation about being like if I'm not without nuance. If you want where my tax dollars are going. If you want to say that we need immigrants, it's fine. Let's talk about the immigration process. I'm willing to work on the immigration process. You need more funding for adjudicators. You need more funding for border control. I'm fine with all these things. But what I'm not fine with is you saying the system is broken, so we're just going to let them in illegally.
Yeah.
In what other context is that fine? Oh, I can't afford it. Yeah. You have something I want, so I'm going to shoot and kill you and take your watch.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Do laws exist or not?
They do.
Okay, so then if they do, then we have to abide by them. If we don't abide by them, what does that make us by definition?
Unlawful.
Criminals.
Yeah.
Criminals.
Yeah.
Unlawful is criminal.
Yeah.
So then when someone's like, unlawfully, but they didn't break a law. No. Their very act of coming here unlawfully is a criminal act.
Yeah.
I'm not without the nuance and without the compassion. I'm willing to have the discussion on extenuating circumstances, but fuck you. Stop.
I like that. So I said is extenuating circumstances.
And I'm
right?
willing to have the conversation of what that is.
And I like that.
But I'm not willing to have the
that.
conversation of illegal immigrants are now immigrants.
Yeah.
I'll meet you in a midpoint.
Yeah.
But you have to start from something that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But don't ask me to give 90%. I'll go 50-50.
For sure.
You got to start somewhere sane.
We both got to give a little here.
Well, you have to start somewhere sane.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that no one's illegal on stolen land. Suck my dick. Suck my dick.
Yeah, because after it got stolen.
I also don't want to hear that from people that.
Now, you got to say it now.
I am so tired of white liberal women. I'm so tired of white liberal women. I'm hungry for black liberal women at this point. Please tell me about how the system is racist. I am so tired of listening to privileged white women. Oh my God. I need some actual struggle.
Oh man. That
I said what I said.
Hey, America, I would
Give me a
take that over
minority.
being
Give me a minority for
I'd
this
take that over
conversation.
being any woman.
When
they
a
got it rough.
blue-haired white fat fuck is talking to me about the plight of the black man, I think to myself surely you could choose a better champion.
See that video of that white lady calling that ice?
Oh, yeah.
Here's
Here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is
that was out of
racism.
control.
Racism is not relegated to blue or red. The truth of the matter is, especially in a civilized society, we actually aren't racist. We're classist.
Oh, we in America.
And what is, if this word exists, perspectivist. A white liberal has more in common with a black liberal than a black liberal has with a black conservative. And a poor black person has more in common with a poor person than a poor black person has with a rich black person. We have fundamentally
1,000
different
times over.
Yeah, we have fundamentally
1,000 times over.
different viewpoints of this world, and it's between both perspective, political, and class, based on your earning capacity. But man, I went to a dinner where everybody in that, it was like a 7-person dinner, and I made the least among the table. Everybody in there was multi-millionaire. You want to know what kind of conversations they're having? When you're making this move, maybe Tom can make this move with you. Oh, Michael, I heard that you're applying for this license. John has this connection. He can help you with that. The conversations are so abundant.
Yeah.
They're so what can we get better? It's just race, money, creed, religion. Doesn't even get brought up.
No.
Doesn't even get brought up. And then I fucking talk to my high school graduates, and they're talking about did you say LeBron James? He said this. And I'm like, oh, do you still make 40? And then the other guy's like, man, that Minnesota cop, he done did the bad thing. And it's like, oh, do you still make $20 an hour? I'll tell you what, Ariane, that Trump guy, he not too good. Did you even vote? This is the problem. I hate to be that guy, but
I hate that when
like
people have
no, you can
contribute.
have opinions. You listen. You have the right to have opinions. But what I'm saying is, when you fail at life, look internally. Look internally.
Yeah.
Look internally, because you live in a country of abundance and opportunity. If you fucking suck in America, that is your black, white, gay, short, tall, fat. I don't want to fucking hear it.
There's
If you suck here, you suck.
There's opportunity.
If you're in Iraq and you're born gay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That fucking sucks. But if you're 5'4", white, gay, not too bad.
Win.
Not too bad.
Might be a win.
Not too bad.
Might be
you
a
might
win
get a
for you.
DEI hire. You know what I mean? Like,
it might be a win for you.
brother, we've been out here for almost 3 hours.
Holy. Oh, wow. Talking or just here? Which one?
No, 4 hours here.
Okay.
It's over 10 o'clock.
Man.
Yeah.
Good. I don't even think we got to the.
Well, we haven't talked
things.
in a while, too.
Yeah.
We didn't do a fuck a lot.
Let's
You
see.
want to know what the most maddening thing about a podcast is?
What?
4, 5, 6 hours is just not enough.
Especially when a conversation takes on a life of its own.
We had a whole conversation about education before we
we
went
did.
live.
Man. But like I said, I enjoy knowledge. So like, especially things that I don't have the most knowledge about, right? So like, it's very informative listening to that conversation.
Education, yeah.
Very much so informative, you know? Like, otherwise, I would.
Your daughter is what, teenager now?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
she'll be 17
She's
in
almost
July,
done
bro.
with school, like primary education.
Yeah, bro.
Secondary education is what we consider high school, right? Secondary education.
Yeah.
Has she thought about university?
Yeah, she has.
Have you had conversations?
We have. I don't. She wants to be a child psychologist. She wants to kind of help children, you know,
God bless.
be better.
It's such a hard thing to like. I know what you're gonna get at.
But still,
She's
like,
doing the Lord's work, literally.
she is. But
Is that what you want?
I want her to do whatever makes her happy. That's what I want for her.
Even if it's financially illucrative?
Uh,
Because you've been poor and you do well for yourself, so you understand the delta.
I do. But luckily she has two sets of parents who, right?
Implying
but-
what, wealth at the time of your death?
I'm just saying like now in general. Like I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but her mother's family is pretty well off.
Okay.
So I think she's afforded the opportunity to do something that makes a difference versus hunting dollar signs.
Here's the problem, Wayne. This is where I'm going to get the most flack. I think when you hunt dollar signs, you can't. Because then you can take the hits.
You can't. No, I get that completely.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Giving time is great.
Yeah.
Giving money is good.
Yeah.
Giving time and money is best.
Yeah. But
I sound like such a douche.
But I think she has a support system, right? So when your daughter
do you think she would go through this line of work if she didn't have this system of support that she has now? If she felt
no,
the
her life
same
would be totally
pressures-
different. Her life would be totally different.
Yeah, if she grew up poor.
Yeah. No
do you
question
think she
about
would
it.
think
No
about
question about it.
helping others, or do you think she would help? I want to. Oh my God! Well, like, do you think her drives would be different?
Would she have so much of what's the word?
Empathetic, sympathetic.
For civil duties, right? Like, would she lend herself to that? I don't know, man. She really likes nice things. You know what I'm saying? So
when Dad's married.
he really likes nice things, but at the same time, she really at heart is a very kind, genuine person.
God bless.
You know? Don't get me wrong, like she's definitely like her father's daughter, like, you know, and like she's not really gonna be like she'll tell me stuff now and I'm like, yes, thank you. I'm so happy she doesn't take shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, she's very empathetic. You know, she's very understanding. She cares about the friends that she has. She doesn't care about all friends. Like, I love that she has a small circle of friends, right? Like,
bless.
especially in high school when like you're not gonna talk to any of these people after the next year anyway. Right? So, you know, like I just love those things. Like,
No, I'm not questioning necessarily the judgment that has arrived to the location that she's currently pursuing.
you're talking about in the future, like
No, I'm talking about a hypothetical.
yeah.
Like, because this is something that I had that whole fucking spiel about our producer, right?
Mhm.
So let me take it to we went from 0 to 1.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in some way you want your daughter to go from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Which means, you know, we went from poor to middle class.
Yeah.
And we want our next of kin to go from middle class to like upper middle class
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit,
Yeah.
by all means.
For sure.
But if they come like from the perspective of like, you know, morals and stuff, altruistic and all these other things, but perhaps from the financial base, maybe not the most lucrative. So like my question to you is, because you have a daughter that's, my daughter's only 3, your daughter's 16.
Mhm.
These things.
Like I said, man, I know that money means, unfortunately, a lot, right?
It's not
It-
nothing
it-
when
it-
you have it. It's nothing when you have it, and it's everything when you don't.
It affords so many opportunities. So I don't know. That's a tricky question.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because theoretically, in the best world, right, she gets that and she starts her own firm, and then she monetizes it to an extent in which
You hope
she's
she can
not
do
where
both
she's at.
the moral and the lucrative.
Exactly. You know,
But what if she was a
but-
lawyer who did like defense attorney against pedophiles, and her top client was Jeffrey Epstein, but she made $100 million a year? Let's just say,
Man. Yeah.
would you be proud of that? Because I'll be honest with you, I sit here and I think to myself these things, but then I'm like, no, there is an amount of money, there is a path. It's like, or if she was a porn star or whatever, there's money I don't want her to make.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
It goes both ways.
It does. Holy shit. Like, fuck, 100 million is a lot of dollars,
But we have
bro.
daughters, so like and by the way, I've thought about that too, because I have a daughter, so I think to myself, I don't want to force her in any path, but like, Ariane, what if she gets like 16 and she's like, Dad, I want to do porn? I'm like, oh my God. An OnlyFans model who sells her butthole for like $5 a month and makes like $600 a month, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, is that the real good thing to say? Like, shouldn't the moral thing to say be like, no, don't do that?
No, don't do that.
The problem is there's like this correlation, this weight, this scale between like morality and morality and return. There are acts that are like less morally reprehensible.
Yeah.
And there are lucrative acts that I'm not willing to do.
For sure.
So it's this constant balance. That's why I say like she wants to be a
Child psychologist.
psychologist for these children.
Yeah.
I don't know what the pay is.
Yeah.
It's not the most.
I
right?
think it's more for children than it is for adults.
Did you just turn that off and on?
Yeah, it's frozen. I had to be in wine shop.
That's weird.
It's not the black guy this time, though.
Yeah, it's not the black guy this time. What? Okay. That's maybe a
Maybe it's letting us know
Yeah,
something.
maybe
Maybe
it's
it's
time
telling
to-
us. Maybe it's like, you
it's a
guys need to shut
3-hour
up.
point.
Right.
Wayne, go to White Shot then.
It's been a while.
Wayne, before we call it a nightcap, is there any one other thing you want to say, touch on before we?
Nothing particularly. I've immensely enjoyed being here, sitting down, talking to you. Like you said, it's been a minute.
It's
So
like old times.
So this has been nice. I like the
I missed
variety,
you.
the variety of the conversation. Miss you too, brother. gonna bring you your save to date, but the person that they had, so Vic's sister, her penmanship's fantastic. She spelled your last name wrong. and so I look
She's
at
not
Vic
the first.
on my way out. I was like, I take it to him, but they spelled that last name. We're gonna have to still mail that out. So, but no, like, so that'll be exciting. And also for everyone who doesn't know, all right, like, if you have one, get you an Albanian friend. Be getting married, and hopefully you're close enough where they invite you.
It's a dope party.
This is the absolute coolest shit I've seen in my life, bro. Like, I've been to black weddings, been to white weddings, been to mixed weddings. There is nothing as cool as going to an Albanian wedding. All right? Bro, it's an absolute vibe, bro. Like,
Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was so fucking fun.
I'm so
bro.
glad you were there.
Like, it was so fun, bro. Like, it's like I tell people, like, there not only was it a good time, it was an experience. You know
You
what I'm
think so?
saying? For me, it was.
God
Right?
bless, I'm glad.
It was otherwise would have never experienced in my life. I mean, as far as I know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if when one day down the line when Polavina decides to make it happen, like, but I got a feeling it's not gonna be like yours, okay? So
No, I think it'll be exactly like mine.
you think it would be?
Yeah, because I'll tell you what. Here's the thing about culture. To admit, you were right that America is a melting pot and all these other things.
Yeah.
You want to know what culture expands itself?
Yeah.
The good parts.
Yeah.
So, like, if there is a part that, like, is good
Yeah.
universally, a black man, a Mexican, a white, an Asian come to an Albanian party and they're like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That'll exceed.
Yeah.
That will transcend.
Yeah. For sure.
But if there's a part of our culture that's like scarcity or negative or whatever, that'll die.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why America wins.
Yeah.
Because over the course of generations, things have died, things
Yeah.
have been appreciated. Things have died, things have been appreciated. And there are many things that Albanians do wrong.
Mm.
One thing I know we do right is
Yeah.
a fucking party.
Yeah.
Because we incorporate everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody gets in the dance. Everybody's in the festivities.
Yeah.
Everybody's a part of the event.
Yeah.
And we acknowledge the importance of that event.
Yeah.
It's not just a wedding, like, be silent and all this other stuff. No, motherfucker. Move. Let's dance. Let's enjoy this night. My wedding was 5 hours long, and I don't think I sat down. Like, outside of, like, the initial thing,
Yeah.
I was shaking everybody's hands. I was hugging everybody. I was greeting everybody. I was dancing. I was whatever. And then by the end of the night, I was like, holy shit, it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock already.
It's awesome because, like, I know you so many different ways, right? But to see, like, that level of, like, love and joy that you had in the moment, specifically with your daughter, you know, like, I'll forever remember, because, again, I know you. I've been punched in the face by you. I've punched you in the face. But, like seeing that level of emotion coming from you, and if you know him, he's not going to give you too much of that shit. So, like, to see it and to be able to like that, to me, that was special. You know what I'm saying? So, like, thank you for inviting me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's pretty much it. You know, just got to see my homie cry, and that was pretty damn good. So, yeah.
You guys are giving me too much.
Hey,
Let me tell you something
too
now.
pretty.
This is what we're gonna end it on.
All right.
I am so hard to enjoy because I'm such a cunt. I am a very driven individual who pays little mind to the people around him. And I try my hardest to can, but I am actively bad at it. I want you guys to know, you, Chris, Nico, Jose, Eric, the people that I've extended myself to, I'm not good at the day to day. I'm not the guy that you can call on a Monday through Friday. I'm not.
I'm not either. So
But I
understand that.
am the guy that when you call me and you're like, I need you, I'm your fucking guy.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've enjoyed the most about you guys is no one ever gave No one ever cared about any of these other things. And I mean, it means a lot to me that we can go long spanses of time without necessarily being close or talking or any of these things. But when I see you, when I see Eric, it's a hug, it's an embrace, it's a how you been, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well, in the most primal way, like the most. I genuinely hope that whatever your dreams and aspirations are, that you achieve them. And I got this not because, a thousand times, I got to learn who you were because of our proximity through martial arts, but because of who you are is why I love you, not because of martial arts. The person you are, like your mother told you, even if you weren't her son, she would enjoy having you around her. Even if I didn't know you through martial arts, I'm glad I met you. So, Wayne, you, Chris, Nico, Jose, Eric, some other guys that I'm not mentioning, I'm sorry. We were very lucky to meet when we met how we did,
I agree.
to have the time that we did, to learn from one another the way that we did, and to just have the human experience together. I am truly blessed. So, Wayne, I fucking love you.
I love you too, brother.